It's like a pizza crunch without the batter. It's like the wood juice without the water. You'll never get the knickers off her. We're going to premeditated batter. Premeditated batter.
Aye, so see, obviously you were kicking it about up the tune and that. You say, were you getting into a lot of bother up back then?
No, mate, I never got any bother. I was just always fucking out mad with it. No, that, but like, getting it to Sav, know what I mean? Like fucking, I stay with my granny granddad. I'm like talking, getting it to the Sav. I'm staying with my pals, or I'm doing this, and I'll fucking going like that with my box. But fucking,
face all over the place.
I was nuts, mate. Aye, well, I think somebody swiped me. Fucking,
I spiked my drink with alcohol.
At gaffs, not that. It's getting to like 5 in the morning. And I'm fucking sitting in some cunt's kitchen at my face. Like, fuck, I've got school in the morning, man. I'm gonna fuck up. I'm not in. 14, 15 at times, man.
You 14 getting into the sand?
Aye. I've looked like this, and then I knew all the boys in the door. I'm pals with guys in the doors, and fucking, I was always out about my pal. Still fucking one of my best mates, Andy Holder, and then Brian Matthews, that obviously every cunt knows.
Him,
I mean, by Panto Villain, you know what I mean? That's how I ended up actually meeting. That's how I met James English. And that was through the glow parties. You know what I mean?
Globetrotting.
I don't want to be involved in this, man. But it's fucking nuts, man. I've just been floating about the tune since I was young. And
where are you from originally?
Yoker, is it?
Aye.
I stay in Trades, didn't I?
Oh, do you?
I'm for Yoker, mate. I've stayed everywhere in G13.
Oh,
so
right. So
Yoker Knightswood, just everywhere. I've stayed there.
Clydebank, that?
No, but closer to the town than Clydebank.
Oh, really? Aye.
It's Yoker, then you've got like fucking White Crook, and then it goes forward to Clydebank. But no, Yoker and Knightswood, that's where I grew up. Knightswood sounds good, but it's a shithole.
Mate, I always thought Knightswood was pure posh.
Every kind of you hear because it's Knightswood.
Aye.
I used to think when I was wee, man, try to fire into birds and that, but I'm for the West End. I thought I've got dough, know what I mean? Fucking sharing the room with my 6-year-old brother.
That's a big room, but innit? But I mean, Knightswood, I always thought that was pure well to do, man. Then it was like, I met a few cunts in the jail for Knightswood, and I was like, you're for Knightswood?
Aye.
And then fucking done something for Knightswood. I was like, the penny started to drop, and now I don't know. I've realised I don't know any posh cunts for Knightswood, or just rough cunts.
There isn't. There's one wee bit called Knightswood Gate, and even that, it's usually all the rough cunts that just ended up earning a wee bit of dough. So it's nice hussies, but it's still tramps in them. You know what I mean? It's fucking, it's a shithole, man.
Aye. So how was
it's my shithole, but
aye, that's it, mate. It's fucking. You need your own fucking hometown pride, don't you, man? That's top of the West End. I tell cunts I stay in the West End of Govan. And see some daft cunt that doesn't know any better. I'm like, the West End of Govan.
That's what I say. I'm in Dresden. I'm like, no, city centre, man. You know what I mean? I'm in Wallace Street. The whole place is full of fucking drug dealers and hookers.
Wallace Street.
Wallace
Street. That's where
so man, there's a death every month.
Aye,
you know what I mean? There's always police vans and riot vans outside.
See, when you tell me you stayed in Wallace Street, I was like, see when you said it's no far, I was like, Google mapped it. And that's the first thing I thought. I was like, that's where all the hookers stay. But I obviously know that. I just know this because I know this. I don't know this because I'm up there. But I just know there's other, because every time I go by,
I knew I've seen your face before. But
is it in the flats just next to the motorway? They ones just like kind of block. Aye. I seen that. They look pure nice on the outside, but I seen some cunt set up a mad page. Somebody that stays in the flats, and they've set up this page because there's always problems indoors, or leakage and all that shit. And I think the landlord, I don't know if it's the one you stay in, but it's one of the bits. I don't know if it's all the one bit.
It's the one kind of section, but it's 2 buildings. Wallace Street, and then it goes into Carniston. I know too much about that area, man. I've been to a gaff in every single bit. Yeah.
Oh fuck, have you, man? There's some mad parties up there.
Oh mate, they're going for days. I know, man.
Aye, because you're right next to your house, aren't you, man?
I know. That's the reason. One of my good mates stays in Wallace Street, man. He's got a penthouse there, and fucking we're always partying, and I was like, fuck it. If I move to Wallace Street, it means I don't need to get a taxi home. It doesn't happen. I just stay for an extra couple of days till I crash it.
As you know, that distance, man, is always an problem. I know. I always go by that in the motorbike and I look at the penthouse, is actually pads, like heavy
Oh
nice
mate,
cars.
they're amazing.
Are they?
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not sure if it's
done
one of the ones that
fucking
look good
for
outside and the inside's a bit fucked
Aye.
up, but is it?
No mate, they're class, fucking class, like Tony Stark's.
Is it, aye?
Aye, quality mate, aye, just like open bits and fucking, it's quality.
Aye, that's yourself for the pimps, innit?
Aye.
The pimps and all the
I know,
prostitutes are doing
I know.
below them.
I know, you know one prostitute a building at a time. If it's two, it counts as a ruffle. Don't ask why I know that.
That'll be right, man. They must need to change their fucking job title then.
I know.
Got undercover prosy. Fuck's sake, man. Need to start getting up there more often.
Well, you're welcome, mate.
Ah, nice one, mate. Nice.
You're welcome.
But how is it?
Good luck fucking leaving, but can I get away from mine as soon as you're in, man?
I'm one
It's
of the
like
cunts that needs to try and escape out the door or something. I just see, because I used to be bad for it. See, let's see, cunts try to leave. I'm like, no, you're not gone. What are you going for?
Aye, you're not
Why are you
gone.
leaving us?
I know.
And all that. And then
I
now
know.
when I want to go, cunts, they don't do it. It's the same thing, but I get this anxiety like if cunts are
Aye,
going
you
to stop
think
me
they're
from
going-
leaving.
aye, I know,
but
I
they
know.
cunts going to stop you from leaving, but you
No,
feel as
you're
if
right.
you're
I
doing it
know,
against
I
your
know,
will.
I know, I know.
But it's just a bad thing, so times
I just can't stop, man. Doesn't matter where I go, what I'm doing, can't stop. Unless fucking my missus, she just grabbed my balls, man, we're gone. Fuck,
grabs him
man.
that vice.
Okay.
Fucking take the door.
But I fucking, it's mad, mate. You end up in a fucking vortex and you just can't leave.
Mate, do you think boxing's like a connection to that? As my pal is saying, my pal Matt, he thinks, see, you couldn't see, like, see, obviously, like, you get UFC fighters like McGregor and all that, man, they're all mad heavy party heads.
Aye.
It's like, they love their gear, all these cunts.
Do you know what it is, mate? I think it's an adrenaline thing. Because
Aye.
there's nothing, there is nothing on this planet that'll get as high as fighting. See, when I walked out there, I keep saying a few weeks ago, man, it was about fucking 4 months ago, and I've still not been in the gym, you know what I mean? But see, when you walk out to fucking a screaming crowd, they're all chanting your name and all that, see the adrenaline, there is nothing that gets you higher. Doesn't matter what drug you take, how much you drink, what you do, it's fucking nothing gets you higher than that, and I think it's just trying to reach it again.
Aye.
I think that's what it is, because obviously fucking, I'm using myself as an example. I'm not of the same level as Tyson Fury and Conor McGregor, but they're two people that's fucking notorious for being fucking bad wreck kids, you know what I mean?
Aye, party animals.
Aye. But I know people that know both these people. I don't know them as much as I'd love to be like, fucking Big Tyson, you know what I mean? He's my pal.
Bring him up to Wallace Street.
Play up to Wallace
Meet
Street, man.
the pimp.
I know. The demise of Tyson Fury, a Jay McFarlane story.
Aye, that fucking story would end a lot quicker if he ended up like that way, wouldn't it, man?
No, but I think it's just that try to reach that high, because it's fucking it's mad. It's nothing that you can. It's indescribable. You know what I mean?
I can imagine, mate. I can imagine as well, because it's synthetic. See the gear, you always get that like hit. You get what you need to do way after it is fucking whatever happens. It'll end up you'll hit some crash, but it will give you that short term kind of thing. And it's see with the gear, you're always chasing it. But maybe not so much Tyson Fury with Conor McGregor. He's not had a win in a good few years. And unless you count Cowboy, and it's like Cowboy.
I know.
All respect to him, he's not a fucking top level opponent.
I know.
So it's like, imagine it's like you would get off the rails because you're not getting that fucking that fighting at the end. You've got the crowd chanting their name and all that, but all that comes down to a crash if you get beat, doesn't it? I imagine I've never been at that stage with that kind of stuff.
Aye. See, normally it does when you get beat, but because I'm such a big fucking large personality, and for some reason my stock ended up rising after that last fight, even though I came in like fucking, you know what I mean, butterbean, you know what I mean, like, even though I came in a big fat cunt and absolutely fucked that. I should have beat that guy in my sleep, man, and just I don't know, I just fucked it. It was, but even though that was the case, I came out and I was still swarmed with people like, way, and I kept on that high, and then I went out. And when I went out, me and the missus went somewhere a bit quieter, and I just started to come down slowly, and I was just dead sad. It's just the way it goes. But when I get dead sad, that's when I fall myself with a shite, you know what I mean? And I get back up again, and then I just stay there. But there was fucking that's how there was a point like during COVID and all that, I nearly got fucking locked up because I went fucking mental. I went nuts with it. I was going through about an ounce a week. You know what I mean? It's all getting ticked, so I'm constantly getting chased for dough. I've no dough there because I wasn't making any dough. Couldn't get in the gym with PT. I was getting fucking £300 a month off the dough. You know what I mean? It was just constantly chasing money to pay somebody, and chasing that high all the time, man. But I
Robin Peter the
fucking
pipe all into you, man.
aye, that's what I was doing, man. I was fucking ticking off one guy, and then I was like, right, okay, well maybe I'll just sell something to somebody, and then I'll buy this, and I'm like, that'll sort it out. And then they come to go and buy it, and I've done it. You know what I mean? It's gone. I'm like, fuck, no, I've let that cunt down, I've let that cunt down, I've let that cunt down. But I started just spiraled. Oh, fuck.
So mate.
But I ended up fucking, I drove everybody close to me away from me and all that. One point I was just going to do my selling. I was like that.
Did it get that dark then?
Aye, it was, oh mate, it got really dark. It was because there was no high for me, and there was nothing getting me that high again. It was just that way. I was like, well, where do I go?
Aye.
What did I do? The only thing that made sense in my head was just to get rid of it all. To get rid of all the feelings, because I couldn't get that high again. If I can't get that high again, then what's the point? It was fucking nuts, man. So I started driving people away. I ended up splitting out with my missus and like turning all my best pals away from me and making people hate me and fucking. So it didn't matter when I done my selling. I was trying to be a good guy. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to do. As bizarre as it sounds.
It's breaking less hearts to us, and you justify yourself that way.
But I've been a lot better recently. And fucking, obviously I had that fight again there. That gave me the boot up the arse. I was smashed. It was so frustrating, man, because I was 8 weeks. I was absolutely flying. I was like, I'm fit as fuck here. It's like, I'm actually doing this. I'm staying off everything, behaving, I'm training, and then I ended up no well. I don't know if it was just fucking withdrawals, but I ended up no well. Know what I mean? I was in my bed for about 5 days, couldn't move, couldn't do it, and everything was sore. And I just went, oh fuck this, man. This was about 3 weeks out, and I was like, I've put everything into this, and I'm still being set back, and it's not even my fault. It was just childish of me. I just took the huff with it. Like, see, the week before, I was out for 3 days watching the Kelbrook Can fight. The week before, you know what I mean? Like getting back into the house on a Monday. Still fucking sitting there like that, rolling about in my bed, pretending I'm thinking about sleeping. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, fuck, I've got a public workout on Wednesday. Fuck. And then that was.
So did you still make the workout?
I made the workout.
Were you still suffering for the weekend before it?
Still suffering, mate.
Fucking hell, how was that?
Sound, mate. As soon as there's a crowd there, I'm fine. I'm just the way I am. I'm just a born entertainer.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'll be the ADHD, man.
Aye, that's what it is, mate. It's just fucking. As soon as there's a crowd, I need to impress them.
Aye.
I need to do something to impress somebody. I need to make myself look like a dick, or I need to. You know what I mean? I need to make people impressed. It's just a constant fucking need for attention.
Aye, that's it, man.
But it's workout and then press conference. Weigh in. I need to be extra with everything, or else I don't feel as if it's a massive. I've had to speak about this kind of stuff, and I'm on the therapist couch. I may as well talk about it.
Aye, definitely, mate. I've got the therapist couch. You know what I mean? That's it.
But fucking, it's stuff that I had to talk about when I was up in the Lavender and that was one of the things they came to is the fact that I need to be noticed all the time. It's a constant fear of never being remembered. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to stuff when I was a wee, when I get split up from my mum and that. But it's about needing to be noticed and needing to be not abandoned. It's one of the things.
It's some kind of sense of self-validation kind of thing. If people remember you, then you're doing something, you're loved, you're cared for, or something. It's that kind of, it just goes back to like being loved. That's having that feeling of love when you're younger.
That's exactly what it is. It's but it's fucking nuts, man. It's nuts. It's nuts how the brain works, innit? Because I always think that I'm well ahead of the cut. I'm born the wrong century, man. I should be 2,300. I should be floating about. Do you know what I mean? I'm well ahead of everyone else. And then actually looking at what I'm just a dick like everybody else. You know what I mean? I'm just a wank like the rest is. But it's a constant need to. As soon as there's a crowd, I need to impress them, or I need to make people laugh. That's my biggest thing. I need to make people laugh. People don't think I'm funny. I've no worth a fuck. Mm-hmm. But it's fucking people aren't impressed by me. I'm not impressed by me. Do you know what I mean? That's the way it is. Like, I'm nothing unless people are impressed by me. And but so as soon as that public workout came round and I'm cutting about in the gentleman trackie, doing my workout, the green hair, you know what I mean? Everybody, there was about it's the power of social media, mate. So. Like, Josh Taylor, fucking unified world champion, pound for pound, great. Do you know what I mean? Probably the best that's ever came out of Scotland. And there was more people there supporting me than there was his. It's just that. It's just been an absolute attention whore, mate. But I've ended up pulling attention in. Do you know what I mean? So I get people in watching. There was about 200 people came to St Enoch Centre to watch me fuck about on pads. So it was mental, mate.
Amazing. How did you build your following? Was it just through boxing, or was it because you've got a decent enough following on your Instagram? And that kind of
it wasn't. It's not even just through boxing, mate. It's just through talking a lot of shit.
Because you're quite interactive. See, with your fan base, now you're always on Instagram. I've noticed that in your story. Always ask me a question, that kind of stuff. And you do. I don't know how many messages you get back, but I'm guessing you answer back every one of them because your story it goes on forever.
No, mate. I don't even. I just feel shite when I don't answer people, but. There's times I've had like 300-400 questions, and then I see somebody that's a pal, like an actual pal, not just a fucking social media pal, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, you never answered my questions. Like, I've never seen them, mate. Like, I don't talk shit, but honestly, mate, I've had fucking all sorts. It's mental how fucking social media runs the world now.
It does.
It's mad.
It's a double-edged sword. It's all its good points. You know, like, you're talking about your boxing, that able to pull in a bigger crowd, just mainly a lot of social media and that. You can sell your business on social media. You can promote stuff, but it's also one of the things that can take care of your life if you're not careful. You know what I mean? And you can get sucked into that false reality. So it goes back to that validation. A lot of cunts live their life off how many likes they get in a profile picture. It's reality for some cunts, but it is. And
I've had a few mates that if they don't get over X amount of likes, they'll just delete a picture because they don't want it showing up when they look in their past. And that to me is fucking mental.
It's crazy. It's insane.
It's mad.
It's insane. It is. It's all. That sound like I've got a cheat to talk, so they post a lot of shit, and it's good. See, when you post something, you get a lot of likes and that. You get that. It's like a wee adrenaline buzz, and it's like it's good, but it's like
people like me. I
know. Like, oh my god, you think you're a pure G for a day, man. Then you post something the next day, it gets like 2 likes, and you're like, maybe my Instagram's broke. Like, nah, mate.
It's the algorithm. It's not me. It's the algorithm.
These pricks don't know what they fucking like. Though. You get pure rage, and then you're humbled quite quickly. But you can see how cunts can get sucked into it, because it's like a drug. It's just
dopamine, isn't it? It's a release of dopamine. It's just the same as when you fucking take anything else. If you take fucking Ket or Mandy or Gear or fucking Puff, it's that release of dopamine. If you gamble, I was a bad gambler for years. That's what fucking the 13 in my forehead was originally. Well, I've got loads of 13s, fucking born 13 past 1 on the 1st of March 98, so I'm 13, 98, and then so many things happen Friday the 13th all the time. I just get back with my missus on Friday the 13th.
Shut up, no,
aye, for fuck's sake.
Oh, congratulations,
just there, thank you.
Stuff.
And fucking, aye mate, when I get stabbed, so I stabbed through my leg, my hand, my head. On Friday the 13th, I had 13 stitches, and I had to get them taken out 2 weeks later, but it was an in-service day, so the doctor wasn't open, so I got them 13 days later. It was just 13 all the time, and it was always my fucking roulette number, was 13. I used to put fucking, times I was putting 100 quid on my number and all that, on 13, and I put that on my forehead, so is it that side? I fucking forget, man. I look at a fucking...
That's your right side, so
aye,
that side.
That's it, I was right, I look at a fucking school shooter's diary now, you know what I mean? But I was... And it was meant to be every time I look in the mirror, I'll think don't gamble. You know what I mean? Because I was just, that was one of the things that was consuming me. But when I look in the mirror, it says E1, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll start counting on.
I didn't want to say that because I was looking, I was like, I still got to say 13. I didn't want to say it.
But I fucking, it's another thing that comes back to as well. It's just the release of dopamine. It's just that feel good chemical. I wish somebody could bottle that, because a ton of % be taking lines of dopamine.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't get as paranoid. I wouldn't be sitting up trees. I think there's fucking cunts chasing me.
Mate, but the richest man in the world, they'd find a way to fuck it somehow, but you know what I mean? It would never be perfect.
No, nothing is.
But so obviously, you obviously get stabbed. What was the story behind that? You fancy getting into that in this? If you don't, it's cool.
I'm not gonna. I was kind of wrong place, wrong time. I was with somebody and they were trying to sell something, and somebody else tried to steal the motor that they were on. Right. So they came up and it's just car thieves down in Doncaster. So I met up with a guy. I was living in Doncaster and met up with a guy, and he sells like memorabilia and stuff, and he had like a good tailor thing. So he was driving down there. He was getting about fucking 10 bags or something for it. He's like, "Oh mate, I'll buy you dinner." He was just a fan. Well, fucking mate, I like him. He comes to my fights now, and so I'll go away. No worries. I'd fuck out today anyway. And I got in the motor and he's like, right, we'll go and do this and then I'll go grab you something to eat. Fucking, he pulled up to the place and then it was a big one-way street and this motor's just reversed in and they've come in, they stole a big picture anyway. That must have been obviously worth a fortune, but they were trying to steal the motor.
Right.
Oh, get a car. And then big fucking choppers, and they came out with a big gun, man. The gun fucking pointing my face.
Fuck's sake.
It's mental, mate. Mental. It's Romanian cunts and it's a place called Balby. It's just outside, or it's in Doncaster. But it's, they're well known for it down there. Fucking got big guns pointing my face. And they're like, get a fucking car, well, fucking stuck in the seat, man. And then I tried to open the door and get out and I was stuck. I don't wear a seatbelt for then on. Because anytime I've got on, I feel like I'm stuck and something's going to happen. I was trying to get
heavy anxiety off it.
And then they started belting us with bats. There was about 5 of them. Belting us with bats. I think the only reason they were chopping as well, but they were trying to get my face off. One down my horn and across there. Tried to fucking, it was a money maker, know what I mean? Fucking no chopping that. But my down in the Freedom was a big
I can see it, man.
chop the side of my head, man. But it was but I think it was that way. They smashed, so they hit belted his head and he's went, he done the horn, know what I mean, and chopped the back of his head and all that. And I'm like, fuck is going on here? Fucking mad. And I'm stuck in the seat, can't get out, but they kept belting me with a bat. And I was like, it was just that way I was going, they must have been like, this cunt's just getting knocked out. He's just no fucking, because I think they were trying to knock him out and then they pulled him out and he was lying on the ground. So I think they were trying to do that. Knock the babyface out,
and get to
fuck with the motor, and get to fuck with the, because he was in a big beamer, you know what I mean? And he was trying to get fucked with the motor, and I think they just went, this cunt's no fucking moving, and then they fucking just went boom right through my legs. I get the door open, I get seatbelt off, and I was trying to get out, because even though I was fucking covered in slashes and all that, I was still trying to fight with cunts, you know what I mean? They're all holding bats and a big gun. I was like that, I was just adrenaline, I was like, I need to go, man, and fucking I've opened the door and I've just went boom right through my leg. I ended up fucking big hole in my leg, man, mental. But, and then I'm trying to get out, so they also snapped the key in the ignition, so they were trying to pull out the keys, take the keys, and they've snapped the keys so they wouldn't be able to start it. And fucking, they all started going, and I've managed to finally get out the motor, and I'm fucking limping up the street. I'll fucking kill you. And then I've looked down, there's blood pushing up my leg, and I've just went, oh, boom.
Hit the ground.
I just hit the ground, then I get back up, and I was just dragging myself, man. I was like fucking, let's see Family Guy, see the wee dog in Family Guy. I was like, wee dog in Family Guy. Wee dog in Family Guy, trying to drag my fucking leg, man. Oh, big cunt, know what I mean? I can't put weight on it.
But I can imagine, man, getting you in the right place or the wrong place, man. I think down.
Right through, I don't know what muscle it is, but it went right through and hit the bone, man. So the whole leg was in shock.
Fuck, man.
And then I made it worse. It was my own fucking fault, but it was just me being hard back at the hospital. See, when I'm in any sort of situation where there's drama or trauma or whatever, all I can do is make jokes. All I can do is try and make people laugh because I think it makes things better. So I'm literally in there. There's like this fucking 60-year-old nurse taking care of me, and I'm trying to flirt with her. I was like, "What's your number?" And I'm literally there. Fucking, I had green hair then as well. Actually, fucking hell. But I had green hair. It's all split open here. My head's all fucking, whole face covered in blood. I've got my leg all bandaged up. My horns fucking all wrapped up, and I'm trying to flirt with this old woman. You know what I mean? But it was. They told me they were bringing in a chair, so they gave me clays, or they put clays on a chair for me, and they said, look, we're going to bring you in a chair and we'll help you get dressed and all that. So they walked out, the curtain's still there, so no one could see me. I was like, fucking help me get dressed. Fuck guys, I'm hard as fuck, help me get dressed. And I've stood up and started limping now, limp and drag. I'm fucking, was it morphine again, innit? So I couldn't feel it, you know what I mean? I'm like dragging myself out. Blood pushing out everywhere. Get me a fucking towel, get fucking home. Like, they told me I wasn't going to walk for a good fucking 4 or 5 weeks. 6 weeks before I can walk about with crutches. They wanted me in a chair and all that. I'm like, fucking chair, fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck, I know, mate.
Fuck's sake, stuck in a chair right away.
I've gone for fucking Herbert's wee dog to Joe, know what I mean? But I'm like, fucking cutting about in a chair, know what I mean? I was like, give me I walked out, no crutches, nothing, man. I'm like, where's my fucking clays? And they were sitting right beside me. I was just doing my fucking tree on morphine. Right, I put them on, I've walked out and I was like, right, get me home. And I'm like, down, get going, lie down. They hadn't stitched me up on that, and I was just all wrapped up to stop bleeding.
Right,
And I fucking just walked out. I'm like,
What, did you go off?
what? No, they fucking
Oh, right, I just
talked me
walked
down a bit, but I went that way. All I could do was joke, and then I was like, fuck no, it's a serious one. I can't laugh about this one. And I mate ended up fucking. I let them look after me. I don't like anybody looking after me. I mean, I've done everything myself thus far, know what I mean? So, but I ended up fucking getting stitched up and all that, and then I got a taxi, and then I ended up I had to move back to Glasgow. And I was fucking mental, man. Mental.
Back to Glasgow.
I don't know where that story started.
Oh, just because I asked her when you get stabbed.
Oh, right. Aye, I don't know if I was leading to a point. I tend to do that, and then I'll tell you 10 stories, and then I'll get to the point.
And then you forget. You done that all the time. You get a murder for it and all.
But I was fucking nuts, man.
So did you end up in a wheelchair then? I take it.
No, I don't.
just
Fuck.
as well,
I
man.
wasn't taking one. They had one sitting out for me, and I went, no, fuck that, man.
You
Give
need
me
to
the
be walking
clutches.
on it to build the strength back.
I know,
If you're
I
sitting
know.
in a wheelchair, it's just going to.
They wanted it all to heal up and for the muscle in it back together before I put weight on it. I'm like, I'm fucking 20 stone, know what I mean? If I sit down for so many weeks, I'm going to lose a fucking. I've not got big enough legs as it is. I'm a fucking grew for Despicable Me, do you know what I mean? Just big skinny legs and a big body, you So, I was cutting about in crutches for a few weeks, and then they told me, right, we want you in the crutches for at least 3 months. And then fucking me being a dick, well, fuck that. 6 weeks in, I started trying to go runs again. Done my selling completely. I can't run now without a big support on my leg.
Oh, can you know it's that?
No.
Just off the back of you trying to run too soon.
Well, off the back, everything. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
It's but it's fucking brutal, man. I can't box without support. And then I decided that my first fight in is going to be a title fight on Sky Sports.
After getting stabbed, how long after you get stabbed was this?
It was just under 2 years, but they told me that I shouldn't be boxing again because of that one in my head as well, in case it gets hit and opens up.
Aye.
But I don't know, I've got skin like a fucking shark, man.
Imagine, mate, fighting a heavyweight, you're fucking going to be quite conditioned to it after a point, aren't you?
No, I know. They're just obviously saying that on the side of caution.
Aye.
It was just getting everything too soon. Started trying to train again. I wasn't meant to put weight in my leg for 12 to 15 weeks, I think they said, for putting weight on my leg without a crutch. 6 weeks in, there's videos of me hitting a bag and I'm still all strapped up. Just a prick, mate.
What was
That's what I am, I'm just a
you just
prick.
miss it so much? It was just like the thought I've been out for that long.
Do you know what it was, mate? I'd never wanted to train so much in my life. See when I'm fit and all that, that's when I can't be arsed trained, but see when I'm told I can't do something.
Aye.
It's just that I've been told you can't do something, I'm allowed to do it. So wet paint in it, don't touch wet paint.
Aye, face right in it.
That's why it's wet paint. Aye. It's just been told you can't do something. But that's part of the reason I don't train, man, because everybody tells me, you can do it, you can definitely do it. I'm like, I want to get to the point where people think I can't do it and then do it.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
It's that underdog mentality, man. It's like, and it's plus as well. See, when I'm no well, I'm the exact same yourself. See, when I'm at the gym every day, it's a struggle getting myself into the gym. See, if I'm sitting like I was no well the other day, or let's see if I'm injured my back for a month and I couldn't do nothing. All I thought about was going to the gym.
That's what you've been told not to do.
Exactly. I was like sitting pure depressed. I can't go a run and all that. See, if I'm sitting fit as fuck, I'm like, I can't be arsed going a fucking run.
I know. Aye, man, it's mad that, innit? It's mad that how the brain works at times.
If only you could swap it about, you'd be the fittest cunt in the world to see if you could manage to control it or change it to a way where you could thing me, but it's the same with every cunt. You can never be arsed when you can do it, and when you can't do it, that's when you've got
that's when you want
the
to
bug.
do it, I know. But aye, that's mad.
So
it's mad, mate.
What got you into boxing in the first place?
I was about fucking 13 stone when I was 8 year old.
Fuck, well, yeah, aye. You've always been a big boy then, aye.
Like a fucking Easter egg with feet, man. I was just that wee fat cunt, mate. I'm just a big fat cunt now, but I carry it better because I'm 6'4". But I was just a wee fat boy, man. But it was that way that man, he took me down with our pals twins, and they were doing a bit of training. They ended up funning me for it, they never did it, but I just loved it. As soon as I got in straight away, and the guy thought he knew me. He thought I was at his old gym for some reason. He was a bit punchy, right enough. So he actually passed away. The It was the first gym I went into, but he thought I was a lot older because I was bigger. I've always just looked older and bigger than everybody. I used to look like that when they get held back 6 years, you know what I mean? But I was, and I ended up putting me in sparring the first night I was there, and I got my cunt punched in, and I fucking loved it.
Right,
I was like, oh, why did I say I loved it?
What was it you loved?
It was just I got one in. I just got one punch in. I was like, I'm going to fucking do it. I love this shit. I'm going to do this. And it was for then on, mate. Because I used to get taken to different things to do, like football and that, but played in goals, so I could still be a fat bastard. I didn't run anywhere, do you know what I mean?
Aye, better than goals. Aye,
don't need to run if I win goals.
Aye.
Fuck, I'm fucking shite at football too, man. Aye, less space because of the size of me. But aye, I'm shite at football as well, man. I love football too. I played 2 games for one of the Celtic Pro Youth teams.
Oh, did you?
When I came out of school, because of the size of me, but so as I said, I've been this size since I was about 14. Probably about 6 foot ish for like 12, 13. I was just massive.
Aye.
I did look like that boy that get held behind. I did, genuinely. And aye, man. But I ended up, I was just that size, and they just went, I will come play with us. It was when I came out of school team, the primary school team.
Aye.
And I was like, that cunt's in fucking 6th year, what's he doing? Not playing with P60s.
Showing cunts a passport and that, man, convince them.
Aye.
Teachers and all that.
Aye, fucking Tash. One of the wee fucking, how many
Tash and a gyro.
Pure puberty Tash.
National insurance number at fucking 2-year-old.
But I ended up playing 2 games, man. It was fucking terrible. I was concerned about how my hair was flying in the wind.
And there was footballer then.
I was like that. There was mud in my boots. Let's stop them during the game and all that. Cunts run by me with a ball, and I'm taking shit with my studs. Know what I mean? Just aye. I can kick the ball. I can throw the ball, and I can take cunts at the game. That was about all I was good for. Know what I mean? So I could shoot. I couldn't dribble. Bizarrely, if you watch my box, my footwork's impeccable most of the time. Is one of my best attributes, but I've got a ball in between my feet and I can't do fuck all with it.
That's strange, that, innit, man?
Aye. But it was I could kick the ball, so I could take penalties, free kicks, and I could throw the ball. I could fucking remember the Rory the Lap.
No.
Used to play with Stoke. No, I used to be able to go one side of the pitch to the other. I used to be able to throw the ball. I can do that. I used to just be able to throw the ball. Just a fucking Mongo strength, mate. It was just, but aye, so there was only 3 things I could do, or I could just stand there, just like a brick wall.
Aye, just have a unit, be a one-man wall.
That was it, mate. I used to hod players up and let people run past. Like fucking like quarterbacks in it. And the American football, just big dummies that don't do it, and you just stop people from moving.
Aye.
But aye, I don't even know if I was a quarterback. I've not a fucking clue. But aye, mate, I just wasn't very good.
Fuck me,
I wasn't very good at football.
I was in
boxing,
football when I was
just
younger.
aye.
I fucking I was shite at playing it, and it was just my head. I always like, nah, I can do this, but I was too left feet all over the place, slide tackling my own defenders and all that. Just man, I can't laugh and take myself and embarrass myself in the mirror.
I know. I'll tell you what I'm good at, but FIFA. Fucking dynamite.
Aye.
Dynamite at FIFA, mate. Aye.
Because there's a thumbs in it, man. You've just got thumbs, you've got just a couple of digits you need.
Thumbs are solid. Just fucking all my fingers, man, fat as fuck.
I get big horns, man.
I know.
Fuck, taking a half man, big boys.
I know, fuck. Hams.
See, when you were younger, did you see, cause of your height and that kind of thing, did you get much bother off people or that? Because you obviously looked older.
Aye, all the time, mate, all the time. But I've got, see, that's the thing. Usually when you get somebody marking a size and all that, they're big dummies and they're just stupid as fuck. But I'm dead switched on upstairs, so I can always talk my way out of situations and just talk to people. But I always take the cunt out of people, which also rubs them up the wrong way. But I just get to the point, I'm taking the cunt out of people, and then I get them laughing, and then as soon as I get them laughing, it just stops.
Aye.
He's alright. He's an alright cunt. Him, that was the way it goes. But mind fucking one time I was fighting with boys. I put 2 of them fucking right out of the game as well. But it was no schemes, obviously. Postcode walls in it for the non fucking any cunt that's no for Glasgow.
I know.
But the schemes, it was because I wouldn't fight with them. They decided they were going to do me. I smashed a bullet in my head and I turned around and fucking belted a couple of them, and I ended up, I was nuts, mate, when I was about 12 or something.
Was it? Aye.
All older boys were. I was nuts, man. But But I never get into fights. Unless it's sprung up on me, I don't fight.
Aye, you're
you know
not
what I
going
mean?
for it, but if it happens, it happens.
But that's a confidence thing in my ability to fight as well, that I don't do that. A lot of you hear a lot of boxers and stuff, and they're bully bastards. They'll get that's somebody that's not confident in their ability.
Aye.
You don't need to prove that you can go out there and just smash a cunt. Do you know what I mean? It's your job. But I've just never been that way. I've genuinely, I'm amazed. If you look at me, anybody that doesn't know me, they go, oh, fucking hell, man. Like, fucking tattoos over his face, 6'4", fucking, aye.
When you talk to yourself, you're quite laid back.
Mate, I'm the most placid person you'll ever meet in your life. I don't have an aggressive bone in my body at all. It's just the way I am. It's mad, mate. I know a lot of boxers in exactly the same position as me. Everybody going, oh, you must scrap all the time when you're out. I'm like, wouldn't they fucking dream it?
Aye.
I mean, I could think getting worse.
I know, I'm just happy. Constantly in bother.
I'm happy with my whiskey and a line. I don't need to scrap the cunts.
Aye,
but,
of course.
Aye.
See, do you think, if you weren't like a boxer, do you think you would be fighting a lot more? If you weren't like training doing it? Or you never done? How long have you been boxing? So what age do you know?
About 8-year-old, mate. 16 years this year I've been boxing.
16 years, so it's a long time to be like, because you're actively like fighting, maybe if it's on a controlled environment. Do you think if you weren't doing that, doing something else, you'd have been fighting a lot more in your personal life or your
possibly, mate? Because obviously I've had a lot of shit going since I was away, and so there's definitely demons there in the boxing. Helps keep them at bay. So probably, mate. Aye, but if I wasn't training or boxing, because even now, do you know what I mean? This is me. I'm back in training every day, and I'm still a big fat bastard. Do you know what I mean? I'd be about 30 stone. See if I didn't train or if I wasn't boxing,
yeah, you love your
I'd just
job,
go out like that, man. It's not even that. I've got an overactive thyroid, right? No, I don't know, mate. I just put on weight. I look at food and just get heavier. It's mad, man.
Mate, I feel you, mate. It's like I find a way to justify it to myself. Let's see if I go to the gym, I eat more. Because I feel as if my head I'm burnt. I say that as if I eat less when I'm not in the gym. I just eat less shite. But I still eat shite. It's just I like eating food. I've tried all the diets and restricting it. I fucking do a week and then I'm like, fuck this, fuck this,
shite.
whatever.
It's shite, man. I've started trying to just rather than I've realised how much shite I actually eat when I try and do this, but it's count calories. Because I'm not going to gear up. I'm not going to fucking. Every time I go into a shop, I come out with like 3 packets of crisps. I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm always going to do it. Do you know what I mean? So if I count it means I'll have less at this time. But I never pans out that way. I end up fucking going off. I fucked it anyway and just keep eating. Do you know
I've ate 20 calories. Fuck it, man. I may as well consume another 2,000. That's the way I do it. I know, mate.
Consume another 2,000 and then go, fuck it, I'll go and get mad with it for a couple of days and not leaving my calories. I'll not eat for a couple of days and then I'll leave it out a bit. But
we're all fucking guilty of it, man.
I know.
So see, obviously when you started the boxing, you obviously said you were in a few fights before it. Do you feel, at any point before you started, you were kind of, I'd maybe take an interest in this, or did you just kind of fall into it to a degree, as you say, you're into it, kind of go into it?
It was just, as soon as I landed that first punch, man, it was just like, I don't know, it was like a movie, man. I looked at my hands and I was like, oh, I fucking love this shit. And then, I don't get me wrong, that first time I was ever in, I got my cunt punched in. I wasn't meant to be spam. No headgear, no gum shield, just fucking probably 10 ounce gloves, just a weighing. It was just the way it was. And then, that coach I had, Robin McDermott, he was the first ever person to train me when I was that young. He passed away, and then I ended up training with a guy called Bert Watt. He was an older guy, Kelvin Hott was. We trained just kind of behind the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery, or in front. It's behind in it because it's the wrong way round. Because the architect killed himself because he designed it and then they put it the wrong way round or something.
Oh, is it the wrong way round? So if you were
that's
saying,
how the nice bit's at the back, so it's technically behind it, but it's in front of it.
So the bit see, obviously Kelvin Grove Park is it behind it or in front of it? I don't know if you're point your count as the face.
Aye, so Kelvin Grove, we're actually just talking shit about Kelvin Grove Art Gallery now, but see the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery, it's the wrong way round, so it doesn't face the main street. Right. It faces the park.
So is that where the front entrance is actually on the other side?
The front entrance actually on the other side. So see the bit you actually
walk in, like
it's technically it's the back.
Is it? Aye.
So the architect set out the plans wrong, so he's designed the building, set out the plans wrong, and because they built it the wrong way round, he's seen it off this, so it's mental.
Fuck's sake, man, that actually looks banging on, hasn't it? You got him. Look at it, because
I
I've
know.
never known that.
Aye, it's mad. It's just some of the useless facts you fucking
But the thing is, man, he's done well in making the back look like the front.
No, I
But
know.
I don't know what the front or the back looks like. This is
If you go to if you go around the back bit where the wee car park and that is, you can see that it's the front of the building.
Oh, can you? Aye.
You can see it. You notice it more because it's fucking. It's obviously a beautiful building. What was this talking about?
We were talking
Aye,
about
the gym.
when you
The
started
gym.
off at
Aye, the
Kelvin Hall.
gym's just do that way. That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying there. I'm talking about cunts off myself. No, the gym was just do that way. So a guy called Bert Watt, I trained loads of champions and stuff. It's just somebody I listened to, and aye, right, he's the biggest part of me getting motivated to box and train, and then he was an old man when I met him, and he passed away. But when he passed away, I never fell away with it. I was still fighting all the time, and ended up. I used to train the Scotland team when I was with Bert. So every was it Wednesday and Sunday or something, I would go to Brigton and train with the Scotland team. And I was like looking bright future and all that way, and then he passed away, and I just went, oh, fuck. But did I? Do you know what I mean? The guy that I looked up to so much is away. What the fuck did I? Ended up doing some of the white collar fights, and then turned pro. And for then I've never took it seriously since, really.
Have you no?
Nah, I have done once. I was 24 stone at a point, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, look at the fucking state of you. I actually said it out loud. I was like, you fat bastard, you are fucking disgusting. My belly fucking hanging down to there, do you know what I mean? I'm about 20 stone now, so 4 stone heavier than what I'm now.
Aye.
Well, I'm about 19 now, but even worse. And I still would like a wee, I wasn't as broad in that, so I still would like a wee boy's body, so I was just fat as fuck. And I decided I'm going to make cruiserweight. Cruiserweight's 14.4, and that was the only time.
Was that for 24 stone? You were basically saying I'm going to lose 10 stone?
8 months, aye.
In 8 months? That's what you're planning, you're going to try and lose that in 8 months?
I done it. I done it and won the Scottish title at cruiserweight.
Fucking good on you, man.
I know.
How did you lose it?
I nearly killed myself a few times doing it, man. I was eating like 1,000 calories a day, under 1,000, and I was training 5 times. I couldn't feel it in my body. I was that fucked. I couldn't feel it in my body. It was like everything was like flopping about, and I'm just training constantly. I just had it in my head that I'm going to do it. It's an ADHD. It's like a hyper focus. So everything else in my life got neglected. Like I was getting back into my bedroom, and there's like food containers that's been there for weeks covered in mould and all that. Do you know what I mean? It was like nothing else in my mind matters apart from that. I couldn't do anything. Like I was probably cutting about in dirty clays, just everything. It was just, that was the only thing that was in my head. Was training, so I was just constant. And I managed to do it, man. It was that way. Like I phoned my manager Sam. I was like, I'm going to make cruiserweight, and he's like, Jay, shut up. He's like, what did you phone me for? And I was like, I'm telling you, I'm going to make I'm going to make cruiserweight. He's like, Jay, how the fuck are you going to make cruiserweight? Physically, I probably shouldn't be able to do it because of my size and dimensions and that. And he's like, how the fuck are you going to make cruiserweight? And I'm going to make cruiserweight. Organised my fight, go to my fight, and I came in 16.8 for 24 to 16.8 in about 4 months.
Fuck, see,
And
that's
it was
something
like,
man.
how the fuck did you do that? And then the next one, so there was 2 fights before I decided I was making cruiserweight. The next one I came in 15.11. He's like, what the fuck is going on here? He's like, look at the shape of you, how the fuck are you doing this? Are you on something? No. And then I made cruiserweight, but I went for, so I done it in a water load, so I was 16.5 a week before, and then I lost like 26, 27 pun in water weight.
Just in water?
Just in water.
Fuck's
And
sake,
on the week, in a week.
That's what's that, about 2 stone? Just there 2 stone?
Just under 2 stone on it.
That's a fair bit in water, man. How did you feel with that? Were you fucked, man?
See, when I walked in, my roofers were stuck together. And I came in, I stood in the scales. I was fucking all faint and all that. And I came in 2 pun over. I was like, oh, I've fucking done everything. I've been fucked with 2 pun. And then they said, look, you can make it in an hour, but we don't recommend it. Look at the state. We don't recommend you do it. Just fight. It won't be for the title. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I disappeared. I went to the Nuffield gym I was at the time. You see the curved treadmill?
Aye.
So I wrapped myself in cling film, a black bag, sweatsuit, 2 trackies on. I just ran for about half an hour. And I say run, I was literally like this. Fucking going
hell.
faint. I came back, made the weight. But see when I made the weight, I walked in, so they were still standing there because he's not coming back. He's not coming back here. Why we still? But I came back and I literally I started stripping off as I was coming out, like from outside. I was taking my top off and all that. Took my trousers off. I stripped bollock and stood in the scales. And see, as soon as it came up 14.4, it was just like my whole body just went, and everything was fine again.
Oh,
I was like that. As soon as it
just came back to life as soon as you
everything came back to
weight.
life. I made the weight and I turned round. There was a woman in the board, Charlene, that was doing the weights. She was like, "You've done the weight," and I looked round. Fuck my bobbies. And she was like, "Unnecessary, Jay." What? I made it. What? I made it.
Imagine your diet would look like with all that water weight taking away, man.
I know. Still at that.
Dehydrated.
I know. My dick looked a bit bigger when it was cruiserweight. I was liking it, but
did
it was
it?
not. Because I went skinny, didn't I?
I suppose.
So that was news fat. So I went in.
Oh fuck!
I mean, I was slinging it about for a couple of days, man. I walked into the ring. So when you rehydrate, I'll tell you where I went. So you need to drink water until you piss, because everything stops. Your whole body just stops when it goes into shock like that. My last meal was on a Monday. I weighed in the Friday.
What?
Aye.
How the fuck is that? So when you're doing the deloading, you need to stop eating as well?
Aye,
Is that part of
because you just hold on to whatever's there because you're going to kind of starvation mode.
Right.
But it was just water, and I was eating lemons. The last 2 days I had 2 lemons because it helps you flush stuff out. And it's nuts, mate. Cottage cheese. No cottage cheese. Clotted cream.
Cream?
Sounds mental, but like a tub of clotted cream is what I was eating a day.
What is clotted cream?
Clotted cream.
Clotted cream?
Clotted cream.
So like CLOTTED.
Clotted.
Nah, I've never heard it.
No. See what you get on. See when you go to posh places and you get scones, and the cream you get with the scones, that's clotted cream.
Oh, is it? I've never seen it. I've probably seen it, but see, because of the name, I probably don't know.
There's loads of calories for how small it is, but there's potassium counteracts sodium. Sodium holds onto water.
Right.
But there's no lot of sodium in it at all, so there's like no salt in it. And there's a bit of potassium, so it counteracts it. So I was I could eat that, and it was kind of keeping me alive, basically. And then, so after I drank water and I started pissing again, it means everything's working. Do you know where I went, mate? KFC.
But before this fight?
The day the weigh-in,
So
that's where I went. Do you know?
Was it the weigh-in the Friday? Was the fight the Saturday?
I weigh-in Friday, fight Saturday, but everybody was going, "Where the fuck are you going to fucking KFC for? Go and eat something proper." And it was the salt in it. So see, because there's so much salt in it, as soon as I started drinking water again, it was just, it was like somebody had turned a tap on and filled me up.
Aye.
When I walked in, I weighed in at 14.4 and walked into the ring at 16.5.
Fucking hell, man.
After, I was like 2 different people. So I pictured him at the weigh-in and I'm fucking sucked in like that. My eyes were all sunken in. You've obviously seen the way people go at weigh-ins.
Aye.
You know what I mean? My eyes all sunken. I'm like,
Aye, what a junkie.
aye, that's what I was like, man. And the next night I came in like fucking He-Man. And then fucking Ferrerich had been downhill, mate. I sickened myself. I think I sickened myself when I'm at a trained with that. But that's the only period in time I've trained since my old coach. It's fucking nuts, man.
So long ago was that?
3 years ago.
But is it? So it was quite recently, wasn't it?
4 years ago nearly.
3-4 years ago. Still pretty recent in terms of. Do you think it's a lot of day with C because it was such a drastic weight cut? You basically needed to fucking kill yourself to make it. Do you think it's maybe the thought of that? It's like the mind, you're kind of like, right, I'm going to need to do something as drastic as that to train. Maybe that's what's putting you off.
My next fight, not my next fight, it was a fight after that. So that was in the summer. And then I was meant to fight cruiserweight up. So this is what kind of hammered me. So I kept myself going. I went off it for a couple of weeks as a day. And then I came back into the gym and I was doing a big weight cut again. I was meant to fight Steve Collins. Remember Steve Collins? Fought Eubank and Ben?
Aye.
I was meant to fight his boy, Steve Collins Jr. for the Celtic title. Mm-hmm. And I'd already been offered this fight, but it was getting teed up for me to fight Lon Sokoli for the British and Commonwealth, and it would have been a fucking crazy payday. And he pulled out the week before the fight.
But Steve Collins boy
pulled out the week before the fight, and it was just like the whole. So I had all these things, this fight planned coming after, and
right.
I beat this boy, I'm fighting for world titles, and it was just, my head was just spinning with that, and then he pulled out a week before and fucking just went, oh fuck. Then I ended up fighting a guy that beat me twice, and I stopped him in the first round. So that was like a bit of fucking validation for me. And then basically I went for £200 to £270 in about 4 months.
Fuck aye, really?
So I weighed in £200 and then it was like 270 was one of the fights after that.
So was this in between fights, or were you fighting?
I just that was fight 2 fights, so I put on about 70 pun and then
Did you? So you're putting on the weight in this? Were you meaning to put on the weight? Or was
I was just getting fat again, mate. It was just my lifestyle. I was like, aye, and then I came in 310 one of them and they wrote it down lighter, and I've just after that cruiserweight fight, man, I just went, fuck, I've done the impossible. What am I going to do now? Aye,
it's hard to beat that, innit? See, because I feel as if when you've got, as you say, with the hyper focus, obviously the Scottish title kind of thing, so if you could get down, there was a chance that you had like a go at the end of that, but once you've achieved something as hard as that, it needs to be challenging. You need to just move on to the next thing, and it's like, and what can you do to fucking best that kind of thing? It's almost like you would be just kind of trying to maintain it. And obviously, if
it's hard to maintain.
It's hard to. It's like even it's having balance, and it's hard to do that. I mean, a lot of people can do it, but I think people like us, I'm kind of like it's the same as yourself. See, as soon as somebody says balance, I need to go off the rails and do something fucking pure ridiculous. It just doesn't work. Just doesn't fucking comprehend in the brain, doesn't it?
No, I'm the same, man. It's fucking it's shite at times, man. But that's it. I've just not been able to focus properly since all that. Because I had this lined up that I was going to do this, then I was going to fight for world titles. But I'm 20-year-old, man. It's like I'm going to be Mike Tyson and be a younger heavyweight champion than Mike Tyson. That was what was going on in my head. And then I get pulled away from me within a week.
Nah, just pure derailed your momentum.
Fuck, but I'd done enough training up to that point. I was still fit enough fight night, but I was nursing a hangover when I in. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck, what do you?
Aye, and then after that, I came into 2 fights steaming. One of them I done the cunt in the first round, lucky enough, because I wouldn't have lasted a second. And then the other one was 6 rounds, and it was a guy I should have beat. I should have given him respect, to be fair, but I was out the night before and then just came in, got my arms wrapped, basically put my shorts on and dived in the ring. And I just couldn't do it. I was just that tired and fucked. I was boxing and I clipped him in the last 10 seconds and his legs and all that started going. I was like, I think I've pulled this off. He started going, I went to jump in, hit him, and the ref jumped in because the bell went. Oh fuck.
Oh, saved by the bell, bastard.
Nearly just done it. But I just fucking kept getting off the rails and I wasn't able to get back on them.
Aye.
And then the one time I did get back on them was before that fight in the Hydro there. And then with my control, I ended up unwell. And I felt like it wouldn't even have sent me back that far, to be honest, mate, because I was flying. But in my head, it was like the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm like, fuck this, man. I'm just going to show every cunt how tough I am. I ended up fucking... As soon as I got out of my bed, I went to the gym once and I felt like shit. The next time I would have went at the gym, I'd have probably been back to being flying again.
Mm-hmm.
But just after that gym session, I just went out. Ended up mad with it, 2-3 days. And then every weekend, boom, 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 prick.
It sets you back. See if you do well. I felt I was just no well last week, and I was doing alright. It was like the week I wasn't puffing green. I was trying to eat right and all that shit. As soon as I felt no well, I feel sorry for myself.
Aye.
And I was like, know what, fuck it, I'll get a bit of green, I'll swat a joint, that'll make us feel better. I'll get a big dirty roll for the roll shop. They fucked up my roll and gave us the wrong roll. But still, I decided like I'm feeding myself with shite because that'll make me feel better than that. But see now, I'm sitting to this day. That was what fucking Thursday was that? That might have been last week, fuck's sake. I'm still eating shit to this day, so I wasn't even that Thursday, Friday. That was one before it.
It's not about how it physically sets you back, it's how it mentally sets you back.
See, as soon as you just go in your head, you fuck it, you give yourself a bit of leeway. It's like I don't know, it's like trying to juggle, I think, so, and you take your eye off the ball.
It's like giving yourself an inch and you take a mile, even though it's a conflict in your own brain. That's exactly what it's like. You know what I mean?
Aye, 1,000,000%, man. It's too easy, especially see, obviously, see what you'd say, it was like 3 week out before the fight.
3 weeks out.
So see, it's something like that. See if you can just lose the momentum so quickly, man. That's a 3 week. That's pivotal.
But it's that way I'm sitting mad with it, going like, how did I lose that so fast? I was fucking flying. I lost it so fast. So am I meant to do this? Am I deliberately fucking up? Am I fucking up because I don't want to do it? And it was just that was going on in my head all the time. I was like, do I really want to do this? Do I even want to fight? And I'm like, I need to fight because I've spent all the money already. And then it was just arguing with myself.
Aye.
Constantly. Aye. And I was like, that. Nah, I'm tough as fuck. It's a blessing and a curse. Obviously, if you watch the fight, you'll see I'm a tough cunt. You know what I mean?
It was a battle, man, but you could see in it you were fucked in it, man.
I'll just keep going and just keep going. I'll no stop. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'll just show every cunt how tough I am. Fuck it. I'll show them how good I am in the next one.
Aye. You just start thinking ahead, man. See, when I was watching that fight, I was like, fucking, this is going on a bit. The two of you were knocking fucking lumps at each other. Then I think somebody took a selfie with you and put it up, and you looked all like freshened up, and I was like, I can't look fucking fucked up like two of you did not fuck each other, but you looked pure brand new just doing a night out after. I was like, I must just be another day to the job fucking with him, man.
My eye was all swole up the next day, and then it went down, and then all the colour went away, and I was just back to normal. I was out the week after, and you would never ever know that I was fighting the week before.
Right, aye.
Like, see if you look at a picture, I heal dead fast for things. I don't know why. Well, I know why. I had a coagulation test is today with my red blood cells, so I repair things faster. Which is probably how I thought I could. I just did a scientific thing, but I ended up big fucking swole eye on my face, all scuffed, and the next week, mate, I just look like this.
Like brand new.
Like, what the fuck happened to you? I just seen you in your story 2 days ago, and your eye was out like that.
See if you go into like a fight like that, and do you see after it? Obviously, you said you went out with your missus. Do you not feel like, obviously when the adrenaline wears off, you're like, ah, fuck? It's like, do you not feel all the pain kicking in?
Nah, no, for a while, man.
Does it not?
Usually, well, that one I did. The next day, I was fucking everything was sore. But so it's always sore the next day. But I'm usually out for a couple of days.
Right.
See, after a
So
fight,
you're out
I'm
through the
usually
pain?
I'm usually out. So I'm through that period in which I would feel the pain. It kind of disappears by the time, so I'm just rough after it. You know what I mean?
But a different type of pain.
Aye. So in hindsight, I was actually raging that she made me no go off the rails because I was sore as fuck. I was like, I just seen me get punched fuck it the night before. And I'm like, don't touch me.
It's a lot. I can't say that, man. But see the difference between fighting amateur and fighting pro. The minute you start fighting pro, you're sore as fuck the next day. You're full body.
Aye, it's the weird gloves. I don't wear a heat guard when I spar that anyway. I don't like them, but it's just different. See the padding in the pro gloves. That's it's spread evenly throughout the hand. Whereas amateur gloves, you've not got any padding here. It's all there.
Aye.
So it's like big pillars. So it's like a bump,
aye,
bump, rather than, you know what I mean. But that's the difference between them. But it's obviously the adrenaline that goes through. You know, it's prize fighting. It's fucking, it becomes your job and it's everything. But it does hurt like fuck the next day.
Aye.
And it's a higher level. That's well, not all the time. Not all the time it's a high level, but it's predominantly a higher level when you're fighting as a pro. But there's definitely more adrenaline but it's, I'm just trying to find new ways to get myself up for it again, to get myself up to box. I want to at least end on 13 wins. I've had 12 wins, but I've been offered see the BKB, the bare knuckle boxing.
Aye.
They've offered me, but see the only reason I can't do it now is because if I was to do it, I'll lose my boxing licence.
Do you lose your licence?
Because it's bare knuckle boxing. It's a different. It's all professional and everything's all through a board now, but I'll lose my boxing licence if I was to go into that.
Why is that? Is it because you're promoting that or something?
Probably. The board don't like me as it is, but it was just. It's just the way it would go.
You would need to try and
get up one licence to use the other. Like McGregor, when he came out of boxing, he gave up his MMA licence, went into boxing, then got his MMA licence back.
Right, I didn't know what that.
Because he's so high profile, it's fine for him to do that. But because if I go to do that, I'll be like, fuck off, you dick. You know what I mean? We've seen you come in steaming and all that. You're a danger to the sport. You're the reason how we need to go through health and safety shit. But I probably wouldn't get it back. But they've offered me, and I got a right wee buzz, fucking properly hard on when they offered me that. I started training again, but I'm just looking for new ways to get that high again.
Something to get to motivate you as well, because as you say, but is it 16 years you said you've been doing it?
16 years.
So it's a long time, and it's like, see when you've not got something to focus your fucking mindset on to give you that motivation, it's hard to find it. It's just like anything you're doing for that length of time. That's what I suppose where the discipline needs to come into it. About that bare knuckle, did it ever tempt you or anything like that kind of thing?
Oh, it's definitely tempted me, but I've not asked them what the door is. Because they offered me straight away. They were, I'd be brilliant. I'm like, fucking hell, man. Well, I definitely. And I know the guy that's world champion, I would let her. I know for a fact I'd beat him. So I reckon I could leave boxing, become a world champion bare knuckle boxer. But then I would go if I left boxing because I knew that bare knuckle boxing was a shallower gene pool and I would have done better there. Or have I left it because I wanted to do this? It's just constant arguments in my head, mate. Aye. Am I right?
Aye, batter in,
right,
mate. Help yourself, mate. Batter in. See now when you box, what motivate? Why do you fight now? What is your reason? Just because you're that used to it?
Well, that was the biggest thing that was conflicting in my own head was why am I doing it? Am I doing it because I enjoy it? Because I wasn't enjoying it. Am I doing it because of everybody's got this expectation of me doing it? Am I doing it for money? No, because the door's shite. Everybody thinks because I box I'm a fucking millionaire. But fucking scrape money together to get a train to the gym. Know what I mean?
Really? Because I've heard that see like pro boxing, obviously the higher up the ranks you are, it's maybe different if you're like signed or that. But I've heard you only make money after tickets you sell.
Well, aye. So as a heavyweight as well. So see when you get a heavyweight opponent in, opponents usually cost about $3,500. So I need to sell. It's different in Scotland. Scotland's a lot better, and Sam Kynock, that's he's fucking brilliant with me, my manager. He does it a bit differently as well. So normally what you need to do is cover your opponent cost. There's £1,000 goes to house, which is the promoter,
right,
and then you make after that. But I've literally had to sell like £5,000 of tickets to make £800.
Fuck, have you? Aye.
Aye.
Fuck's sake, man.
Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the time I don't do that. I've had a few fights where it's cost me money. Because I've not sold enough tickets, so I've had to then borrow money off. I've had to borrow money off my old man at one point, and then just borrow money off mates and stuff, and but I'll pay you back, and it's just to get the fight.
That's
because
of
one fight I had to get a sponsor to give me money, and I told them it was just sponsor money, but it was actually to cover the cost of the fight because I fucking never sold enough tickets. It's hard, but do you know what I mean? Like, see, when I all my pals were all still apprentices when I turned pro 18, straight away. They're all on apprentice wages. You know what I mean? They're about fucking £120 a week. So
£5 an hour on that if you're lucky, man. And it's no cheap for the boxing tickets, is it?
No, and see when you're fighting in places like Crown Plaza, you go, it's only the Crown Plaza, but you get a free course meal with the fight. You get this, you get that. So it's like £120, £100 a ticket. Mm-hmm. And try to ask boys that are on £120 a week. You know what I mean?
It's a week's wage, basically, isn't it?
That's you know what I mean. And then it's a week's wage, and they're going, we don't even want a dinner, but which is the other problem because they're going out to get fucking fully it. Do you know what I mean? So they're £120 for that, then they're fucking £150, £200 for a suit, then they're fucking £150 for their gear. Know what I mean? They're fucking £300 for their booze and all that when they're out, and it's just, it's fucking, it's a hard ask. I know it's a hard ask.
Aye.
It's just how I don't pester people with tickets and that, and then I get a shot on a hydro and I ask them for 1,000 tickets, and they're like, what do you mean? We can give you 90. Well, what? You told me part of the deal was that I was getting 10% commission on my ticket sales, and you're giving me 90 tickets. I sell more than that in fucking Paisley Lagoon Centre. Do you know what I mean? Like 90 tickets, chief support on a world title fight, and they gave me 90 tickets. And I got to the week of the fight, and they seen the crowd I brought in and stuff, and then they ended up giving me more. But when it's cheaper tickets, I sell loads of tickets, and I can pester people for £40. Do you know what I mean? But I fucking grow up your dick. You know what I mean?
Get your finger out in it, man. Come and see us.
But when it's hard on these shows in the plaza and stuff, and you're asking people for, it's not just the ticket you're asking them for, because they need to get an outfit, they need to do that, they need to do this. So you're asking somebody for £500 to watch you box somebody that's lost 100 times. Aye. Do you know what I mean? So
it's weird. It's weird that as well. I didn't think you'd have to cover the cost of the opponent as well.
Well, that's how they make their money. That's how they, you know what I mean? That's a lot of them get shipped in. Most opponents get shipped in to lose.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some of them have a go. I end up fighting people that will have a go. One, because I don't like asking people for money when it's just the result can be said before it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to win in points because I'm not allowed to knock this guy out because he's a journeyman. I don't like asking people for the money for that. And two, I can't get myself up for it when I know the guy's just going to stand there like this, take up the punches and then just losing points. Just can't get myself up for it at all. I was like, I can't be arsed doing it.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
That's not what you date for, innit?
No,
It's just
I know.
to fucking punch cunts about until the fucking bell goes, innit?
I know.
You're there for the
it's
competition, ain't you?
It's just the way boxing is, you know what I mean? And then that's how there's a lot of people you'll see will get to fucking 8-0, 9-0, fucking 15-0, and they've never fought anybody with a pulse.
Aye.
Then they'll go in with somebody that's a bit better, that's not even as good as them, but they'll have that shock of somebody coming back at them, shit themselves and lose. I see it happen all the time.
Aye, because with boxing, man, see the amount of boxers there are, the pool, it's fucking massive. As opposed to any other sports, there is cunts that have got like 40 losses and 2 wins and shit.
One of my good mates, Pucci, he's one of the most famous journeymen in the country. He was up on our show there. I think he said 10 wins out of like 170 fights.
Fuck's sake,
But he's only been stopped about 3 times. He doesn't get knocked out. Journeymen are there to help boys learn, but people abuse that and use it to pad out a record.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So you fight journeyman for your first couple. I was meant to, but I didn't straight away. I went into 3 winning records. The guys I fought, don't get me wrong, they weren't great. I stopped the first 2, and then the third one was in New York, and I just fucking. That was another thing when I fought in Madison Square Garden. I was just I was too young for it.
All right, aye.
It just came about.
What was that was it? Sorry, what was that on the undercard of?
Govan Jacobs.
Was it? Aye.
Aye.
How did so? It was your 3rd professional fight on that card. How did that feel?
I just unreal, mate. But I thought I'd made it before I'd made it. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
ego.
I'm out fully at fucking in the club buying bottles, and all that. Hey, fucking go, and all that. Gee, you know, fighting next week? But I fly out Tuesday. Well, it's Monday. Well, fuck, I'm gonna get home.
Better finish it
then. But I just thought I'd made it too early, and I don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change it, man. I was fucking only the 4th Scotsman to fight there, but I just. It's the only reason I've never been beat off anybody that's better than me. I beat myself more than anything else.
That'd be a lifestyle, that.
Felt prepared to fail. That's what they've.
That's exactly it, man. So what happened with that fight, the one at Madison Square Garden? You won that?
No.
you lost it?
Well, I should have. It was actually on Boxing News magazine as like one of the robberies of that fucking year. It was. It was just nuts, man. Nuts. I just didn't box, mate. I didn't box. I was just trying to brawl with a cunt. That's the one thing. Like anybody that watches me on, if you watch me on YouTube, you'll see that fight. You'll see the fight on BT with the Ultimate Boxer. You'll see the one in the Hydro, and you'll be like, this cunt's just a brawler. See, technically, I'm a very sweet, precise boxer.
Oh, really? Eh?
But it never comes out because I don't train. See, when I day train, when I fought for that cruiserweight title, everything I done was dead long, sweet, moving, boom, just picking shots and like Fury-esque. That was the kind of style that I box. Obviously, I'm fucking shorter, and then I end up coming out and just fucking brawling because I've no trained for it. And like, I'll just need to be hard as
knock
fucking.
your cunt out.
Aye, that's what I done in New York, man. I just didn't train properly for it. Out of puff when I was doing my warm up. Know what I mean? It was just,
really? Aye, fuck's sake, man. But what happened at that point? Did you think because you'd won the first 2, you were kind of like, right, I'm fucking made for this kind of
it was too early for it as well. I think I'm still the youngest fighter to ever fight in Madison Square Garden.
What age were you at that point?
I just turned 19.
Right, aye, so you're still, imagine being 19, know what I mean, what you're like at that age.
19, man, we couldn't for the scheme, do you know what I mean? Like, I signed we were in like emergency accommodation when I signed my pro contract. I went home to sleep in the flare. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, really,
signed my pro contract, went home to sleep in the flare, and then 3 months later I've been told, you're fighting in Madison Square Garden, Golovkin's undercard. And then if I won that fight, I was on the Golovkin Canelo bill in Vegas. Know what I mean? Well, I've fucking made it, man. I'm a king. Like, I'm fucking rags to I don't know, but I'm a rags to riches, not you know.
I writing your story right away.
Aye, it's fucking. I was mad, mate. It just came too early for me. I wouldn't change it, but I wouldn't change it for the world, man. Every experience in life makes you who you are, or who you're going to be. No, I mean, you're always who you are, but it's mad.
Did you think you learned any lessons after that, or did you think it took you a while?
Well, I came back. That's another thing I know, man. So I came back and I had a few fights lined up. So I was to get myself back into winning ways straight away, and then I was maybe getting a chance of still getting on that Canelo card. So I came back and so I was in a fixed fight. Most fights in boxing are fixed at a lower level. So I was in a fight that was to be fixed. I wasn't going to knock a guy out, and I was winning on points. Right. So I went in, I've just tapped away. The guys just stood there, boom, just took a few punches, bump, box nice. And it was done in Newcastle, and the referee scored the fight in the other guy's corner.
Shut up, really?
Scored the fight and just incompetency. Scored the fight in the wrong corner because I was Scottish in Newcastle and he was English. So he was never. He must be the home fighter.
Aye.
When I was the home fighter, because he's been told home fighter wins, but he's thought, oh, he's English, he's Scottish, he must be home fighter. Just incompetency, and ended up with a record of 2-2. I've literally went for being fucking sky high. Papers following me about and all that. Got at Madison Square Garden. Oh, this fucking young boy, this young exciting heavyweight. He's fucking big carry done. Like to having a 2-2 record. Like, what the fuck's just happened? Like what actually just? This was in the space of like 4 months. Because I fought end of December, 18th of December was my debut, and then by the April, I'd fought in Madison Square Garden and lost 2 fights. Wow, what the fuck just happened in that last 4 months? It was wild. You know what I mean? It was just,
man. So was that a wake up call?
Aye, it was just like how fucking fast does time move? And then obviously, I was back training after that fight in New York. I was fit for the one in Newcastle, and then I was told, don't go knock a guy out. And then I fought again. I fought a guy, John Valau. He was solid, cunt. Ended up, I put him out of the ring. I dropped him 4 times, just kept getting up. But I won that at the park, do you know what I mean? I fought him. He was just back for beating a guy that was 11-0 as well. So, won that one. And then I was to fight the guy that beat me in Newcastle. I was going to rectify that loss. I went to fight him and I realised the dates. So I was in fucking Magaluf for 12 days. And I was fighting him like 5 or 6 days after that.
After you came back?
I went out to Magaluf, out my boxer, fucking just mad with it every single day, man. The measures are giving you half a pint, do you know what I mean? I'm like, just neck and I'm back. I came back fucking 19.5 stone or something. Put on a bit of stone on holiday. I'm the only cunt that can get on it and put on weight. It's bizarre. Every cunt else goes out and drinks and ends up coming back like that. You know what I mean? I come back bigger, man. Aye. But I came back and it was like 5 days later I was fighting the guy that had just beat me. And then again it was a bit of a shit decision. So I ended up, he'd beat me twice. So I was like 1-3, lost 3. Man, what the fuck is going on here, man? And then that was when I decided that when I decided I'm going to make cruiserweight and drop all the weight. Because after that fight I went off the rails and ended up fucking huge. Aye, fucking telling all these stories backwards, isn't it?
Aye, oh, fuck it. I'll still just forget in a minute.
I know. Fuck, man. Aye, nuts.
At least we found our way to it. See, obviously, you're telling us I thought you suffered from PTSD and that kind of stuff. Obviously, what was it that went on back in your fucking your past? You've had a bit of rough, didn't you?
Aye, fuck. So when I was away, man, me and my basically what had happened was my mum was with this guy that decided that he was going to take us on holiday. Fucking don't know how, we never had any dog growing up or nothing, do you know what I mean? But he was going to take us on this big expensive holiday and it turned out to be a drug run. So my mum ended up, didn't know about it, and they tried to blame it on us, you know what I mean? Blame it on her, really. No blaming it on a fucking 8-year-old boy. But she ended up doing 8 or 10 years or something in the Caribbean.
Oh, fuck's sake, so did your mum did get the jail for it then?
Aye, and me and my wee brother ended up in an orphanage over there.
Fuck's sake,
but,
man.
We were only there for about a month or something. But aye, fucking nuts. My gran and granda came and saved us. Well, I say saved us, if we stayed there I'd probably be bilingual.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
How was the orphanage there? Can you remember it?
Fucking no, that's where the PTSD comes from, man. That's probably where that abandonment thing, fucking when I need attention all the time comes from, because I was just ripped away from my mom. But it was I was nuts. They used to just, so that's how fucking white lives matter, mate. We get bullied for being white over there because it was so the Dominican Republic. But my wee brother's autistic, so I was just trying to protect him the whole time. But I ended up fucking taking doing after doing, trying to protect him, and then I don't know that this is what's going to happen, but at one point I thought one of them was trying to shag me. They were all fucking cutting about with no clothes on, and I was fucking nuts.
But was this the cunts in orphanage, were
An
you?
orphanage, aye, but it was like ranged between like 5 and like 20. Know what I mean?
Oh, right, aye.
Like men, like men. Do you know what I mean? They were cutting about with no clothes, so it was fucking wild, man. Like when I think back about it, well, no 20, probably like 16, but it's still fucking.
It's still a guy if you're about 8. It's like a grown man to you, know what I mean?
No, I know. Even though I was 13 stone, you know what I mean? But fucking, I was wild, man. We used to batter us and fucking. We ended up, we didn't get a seat at the table. In the orphanage, they used to look fucking, it was raw meat and all that, they were throwing at us. We didn't get, so they used to put out the food on the table and everybody would go in. It was like something a movie, man. Everybody's like, eating their hand. And basically lived on fucking bananas, because there was like banana trees in the orphanage. Lived on bananas for a few weeks, but they were literally like throwing raw meat at us and all that. Because it was wild, man.
Was it like the screws or like the fucking staff or something that you talk about?
But the staff hated as well, and then see when it came, so the guy for, I can never remember what his name is, but the guy for the embassy, the English representative, or the UK representative for the embassy in the Dominican Republic, when he would used to come, they used to be like, it's as if they told the Waynes, like, oh, be pals with him. The embassy's coming. Do you know what I mean? It was as if they told them, and everybody's like, oh, hey, letting us join in to play baseball and all that, and said they're trying to hit us with the bats. You know what I mean? It was wild, mate. It was wild, man. But my gran and granddad, they managed to get fights over and fucking literally saved us. But
I bet you were glad to leave there.
Oh, fuck me, I know. Starting to like it, I know. No.
Starting to get a good tan.
I don't even get a tan, mate. I go scarlet.
Oh, do you?
Anywhere I just go red and back to white. It's shite. So I've coloured most of my cell in.
I see it. So how did see when you came back? Were you kind of like, what the fuck just happened there?
Aye, I've been in that position so many times in my life where I've just been to be like a wee bereaver. Obviously with the ADHD, it changes as you become an adult. It changes, the imbalance in your brain changes. So I'm not just a hyper Wayne anymore, like the way everybody goes, oh, I'm a bit hyper, I must have ADHD. As it changes as you get older, but back then I've been so many positions in my life where I've just went and took a breather and just settled down a bit and went, what the fuck has just happened in the last 3 months? Like same with the boxing there, where I was like, I've just knocked out 2 guys, 2 fully grown men, and I'm a big fucking tall, skinny, fat 18-year-old. I fought in Madison Square Garden and lost 2 fights. I've literally went for there. I've went for here to there to there in the space of like 4 months. When I went over there, it's just when you take a breather and go, what the fuck has just happened there? It's nuts. You react to things as they go. As life goes on, you just react to how things go, and I just live life one day at a time. That's how I've never get any dough, because I just enjoy what I'm doing at that time, and then
live for the moment.
Live as what it is, mate. Just living constantly, just living for the next moment. I never know when it's going to end, so I'll just fucking live it as it is. But I was literally just sat down, even like fucking the age I was. It was like, what the fuck just happened? Do you know what I mean? That way I'm like, hold on a minute, man, is Mamo actually in the jail? Did I just spend time in an orphanage over there? Did I just nearly get raped off a big black cunt? No, what I mean, I was just like, what is going on here? Is this real? And then, it's just a lot, and then I just start going, fuck it, that's what it is, isn't it? It's just that mentality is what it is. That's what it is, mentality, man. I was like, fuck it, that's what it is. And just got on with shit. But I've been in that position so many times in my life where I've just been like, have I really got fucking 4 holes in me? Did I just get stabbed? Fuck it. Fuck it, that's what it is, man. I fucking just got on with my life. It's just always that is what it is mentality. But I've been in that position so many times in my life. It's nuts. But fuck.
I think it's one of the ones. It's because, as you say, it does it makes you, but see, as the time things will happen, as you say, you just deal with it in the moment, but it never thoroughly sinks in until maybe you're out of the danger zone kind of thing. It's when you're sitting like comfy or something like that and you kind of go, wait a fucking minute, how the fuck did that?
That's exactly,
because registers.
Because when you're in crisis, it's like a mode, you're in crisis mode and just react to everything as it comes. And then as soon as you sit back down and relax and go, fucking, did that actually just all happen there? It's like, sometimes on a very, very small scale, I get it when I've been on it. Because there was one time I was awake for 12 days.
Not on it,
Straight through 12 days. 4 different sets of pals that were on it for a few days with me. And I'd be like, I've been up for 3 days, and then I'd go and meet cunts, and then I'd be on it for another 3 days, and then it was at the end of that, I was rough for a couple of days, man. Nearly get fucking sectioned after that one, right enough. But it was just that way I went, all sorts of dough. I was looking at the messages on my phone, 'cause my phone's been off for 12 days. I'm just looking in the mirror at fucking Shrek, you know what I mean? Face green. Oh, the state of me. Did that just fucking happen? Did all that just actually happen? Or am I imagining? Am I in a padded cell somewhere? Smash my face off the wall? It's just, it's fucking... But that's where that comes from. The PTSD and that. I end up sometimes when I get really bad and really deprived of life, basically. So when I have been awake for 12 days, or when I have been fucking on it for 5-6 days and no sleep and all that, I start to have episodes of psychosis where I speak to people that are there and I see things, and I think there's people about and have conversations, and there's nobody actually sitting there. But it's but that all stems from that, because I had to get tested and stuff, and they're like, no, because you know it's not real, but you only know it's not real after the fact. So it's an episode of it. It's not. Right, that's good.
Full blown.
That's good. I know I'm no psychotic. Do you know what I mean? But that's what it is. That's what was happening. Fucking mental, man. I mind one time I was sitting. I thought I was talking to a police officer. No. I thought I was talking to them, and I was at my box. I was in the van. I was at my tits. Know what I mean? So I shouldn't have been driving. And I thought I was talking to them. Literally sitting, talking to them in the van, like that. Like, fucking hard shift tonight, and like replying back to me, and they're like, oh, you nearly done? I'm like, oh fuck, man, I'm out to 6 this morning. It was like 3 in the morning or something, and I'd fucking went to Asda to get mixer. Do you know what I mean? It was one of the ones.
Aye.
And I'm like, I was like, nah, fucking 6 I finished this morning, man. I was like, I've been working all day in Maljo and all, man. I'm fucking shattered. And then I'm like, oh, fucking hell, Jay, get away with it. And I started driving away. It wasn't even a Bose van, it was just a van.
And was there naked in there?
Naked in it.
You're just sitting talking to them?
Just sitting talking, and I thought it was somebody there. And that's when I kind of realised, right, fuck, I need help.
At what point did you realise but you hadn't been talking to anybody?
When I drove away, and I looked, I was like, they Poe's still watching me. And I went, that's not even a fucking Poe's van. I thought the van had pulled up beside me. I drove up and parked beside the motor,
right,
and then get into the motor. But when I got into the motor, I seen it as a Poe's van. It wasn't a Poe's van at all, but I'd seen it as one. I was sitting rolling down the window talking to them. It was fucking, there was nobody even there. Freaked myself out, and I phoned my best mate Oscar, and I was telling him, and he's like, at first he thought I was just bullshitting. He's like, this cunt just wants me to get on it with him. He's like, he's just talking shite. He's like, he just wants me to go on it with him. I was like, I'm being serious, mate. It's really fucking bad here. Must just sit in that self, fucking no beard, man. I've fought for that cruiserweight time. 20-year-old, pull it out, mate. Pull it out. Doesn't grow properly. But I fought for that cruiserweight title, 20-year-old with a full beard, and you're a fucking keg roll one.
Is that right?
Pull it out. I literally sit like that. I pull it out.
If you're pulling your hair out, you're pulling your beard out.
Aye.
Just keep it down there, don't start pulling your hair,
no,
man.
I know. But if I pull it all out, and I was just sitting there, I was like, no, I'm being serious this time, mate. I'm being serious this time. And he's like, right, come down, man. I turn up to his house and I've got fucking half a beard.
So you're actually pulling clumps out?
Aye, clumps it, hairs and hairs at a time. Like, boom, I did. It's just a nervous tick I've got. I don't know where it came from, but it's just, it's nuts, man. But I just disassociate myself from reality at times. But I've got over a lot of that. I'm better with a lot of that because I actually seeked help. That was it. It was another time I moved into my missus' house. I used to stay. I stay myself now. I used to stay with her, and she's got a flatmate, and it was just as they were moving in, I went and picked up her bed, because I've got a van. I went and picked up her bed for him. I brought it back, and I took the bed up, and I've set it all up. I was like, I've set it up. I like him, he's a good cunt, Ethan. And I set all the bed up for him. He wasn't moving in for another couple of days after, but I just set it up and I made it for him, just made it look nice. And then I could hear screaming. But the guy I bought the bed off, was creepy as fuck. And he looked like a beast. And I had in my head he's a beast.
Right.
And then I had in my head there was a wee lassie trapped in this bed. I'd carried the bed up. It was one of the big box ones.
Aye.
With the drawer on that
Aye.
on it, right? I was like, so she's trapped in this, trapped in this, trapped in there. I could hear screaming. I was like, I'm in my house myself and I'm fucking looking a bit. Watching the telly, it's no one. Do you know what I mean? But it was, I could hear screaming, help, help, help. I'm like, where the fuck, she's in that bed, she's in that bed. And I fucking ripped open the bed and all that, ripped it apart. Thought it was something in it.
Pieces you spelt it?
I ripped it open. Ripped the drawer out. Nah, I'm looking in. Like that. Fucking prick, isn't he cunt there? And then just laughed about it and thought it was fine. And then fucking, it was a couple of days later, I kind of went, nah, that's no lawnmower hat, Jay, you shouldn't be doing that.
Was this the screaming, was it in your head you were hearing?
It was in my head,
right,
aye,
so
but I
wasn't
could
it up the stair or something?
No, it was all in my head.
Were you
I
mad?
could
Were you
hear
full of gear in this
Not
point?
at all, mate.
Nothing?
I've been off it for a while, actually. Aye.
And you still got this?
Aye.
Did you ever get to the root cause of it? What kind of caused that kind of shit?
It's just it's burying problems, mate. I don't ever take, but that's what the kind of route was that they told me it was when I was in the. At one point, I was going to 11 there every couple of weeks to talk to them. Still a professional athlete, do you know what I mean? It just shows you, man, because everybody thinks, because I'm always laughing and joking and all that, people are fucking struggling.
Ah, yes,
Know
that's
what I
what you
mean?
find with people all laughing and joking. They're the ones that are fucking struggling the
Aye,
best. The
struggling.
mask.
But I was really struggling at that point, you know. And it was when everything was going good as well. Like, I just moved in with her. It was like fucking everything's going great. I was happy. Everything was good, and then just I seen a guy that looked like a beast and thought he'd fucking stuffed away in a bed. Know what I mean?
So it just stemmed off the back
Just
of
came
that,
off. It must have been, mate. That's the only explanation I can think, because I was after gear. I was off a drink for a good few weeks, which is a lot for me. I normally drink every few days. I just have even if I'm no out getting mad with it, I have a drink. You know what I mean? I'll just have a drink. Usually leads to me getting mad with it enough. But that's how I'm fucking on this piss, man. I've always went smoking. That's a fucking disgusting habit, that, man. I hate smoking. I only smoke if I drink, but I was drinking every day, so it turns out I was a smoker. You know what I mean? But
you've replaced it a bit with that.
I've replaced it a bit with this. Aye.
Have you? Aye. What is that, one of the elf bars?
Just the elf bar, aye.
Is
Just
it?
the
Aye.
elf things, man.
Cause see, I get that wee nudge. I like a wee bit of nicotine, but I hate smoking. But it's fucking. I was thinking about, I don't want to end up in the fucking vapes every day, man.
I know, but it was. Because a lot of the time I thought I was craving gear. See, when I'm coming off it and starting to live my life properly and clean, I was like, I'm fucking mottling. It was actually nicotine. I was fucking. As soon as I started taking these, I started stopping. I stopped craving or what I thought was craving gear as much. It was nicotine I was craving, because I was smoking every day. Because I was drinking every day.
Right, so
Probably
you only smoked when you were drinking?
Aye,
right, so you were coming off it and then...
So it turns out I was actually just like a full-on smoker.
Aye.
Even though I'm seeing cunts when I'm sober going, I'll fucking smoke, man, it's barking.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It turns out I was a smoker.
So does that help you stay off it?
It helps me stay off of gear at times, mate.
Does it,
Because I was always I was craving nicotine, but what I thought I was craving was gear.
Right.
And it's fucking nuts.
That's
It's
crazy,
nuts.
innit, man?
It's just I was having an urge for something. It's this. No, it was, well, it's not this. It's nicotine. I was wanting. And I'm going, I'll take a line, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Take a line, I'll take a drink, and then I'll start smoking anyway. So
Aye,
it'll go away.
So you end up smoking at one point, but you're just thinking it's the line that's doing it.
But it was... mate, I think it would have been a lot better if I discovered that the thing I was craving a lot of the time was nicotine. I wouldn't
Crazy
have-
think that, innit?
It's mad. It's mad, mate.
It
It's
is
mad.
mad.
It's really mad. But aye. Fucking...
Crazy think that. So see when you talk about, like, it's obviously your episodes and that kind of thing, is that a thing in the past, or is that a thing you still deal with to the day?
I've not done an episode in a good while. The last big one I had was that post that I was talking to, following conversation. That was the last big one, and then that's when I really seeked help with it. Do you know what I mean? But I've actually not really had one since. I see things. I can't be in the dark, mate. 24-year-old, and I can't be in the dark.
All right,
I see things that when I'm in the dark, I don't know why.
Just your
I just see things that are there, and I get sleep paralysis a lot.
That's fucking brutal, that, innit? Horrible, man.
I had
If
it
you've not
twice.
experienced it.
See, last week, man, I went for about 4 days and I slept about an hour. I don't sleep much in nights as, but I went about 4 days and slept about an hour. It was one of the times I had it twice in one night.
It's sleep paralysis. Aye, mate, it's horrible. It's like you feel pure powerless, you can't move.
I was in bed next to Becca, man, and she fucking shit herself because I had it. But it's the same thing. I see it's a big. It's like, I don't know. It's like a big fucking demonic looking thing. It's like it's got no eyes, but it's like beams of lights that can see you. Big creepy looking fucking thing, like a pure broken smile, and big long arms with big long scratchy fingers. That's what I see every time, and it's like I feel it scratching me. So I can feel that in my body like this, and it comes up as soon as it gets to here. I wake up, but I was stuck and I couldn't even open my eyes this time, and I was like that. And she's just woke up and seen my horn up in there and thought I was going to hit her. It's like Jay, and I'm stuck like that, man. She's like, Jay, you had your head. I didn't remember until she told me next morning. She said, Jay, you had your arm up there last night. If you were going to hit me, I was like, I wasn't going to hit you. There was times I woke up with sleep paralysis and seeing it on the back of her head. It was that, so it was as if it was her.
Oh fuck!
And she's like, Jay, what is it? And I kind of came to her straight away, and she's turned round and was like, what the fuck? Because it was like that had turned round, and it was her face on it. It was fucking nuts, man.
Oh, what?
But that's sleep paralysis. That's no episodes.
As soon as you fucking kick out it, I've never had any seen anything. Sleep paralysis, I've just had it where I'm awake but I can't move my body. And I've read somewhere that you can kick out it. Let's see if you start wiggling your toes, you can start wiggling your toes and then you can kick out it. But that's obviously a lot different to like the way you would suffer it, know what I mean? So I don't know if that...
I only get it with my eyes open. Well, apart from the all night, but I think that's... but wiggling your toes...
So you start with wiggling your toes and then let's see it. If you start with trying to wiggle your toes and you can... I don't know, I just read that somewhere.
Wakes your body up. I'll maybe try that next
time.
It
if you remember.
I get it quite a lot.
Do you? Does it ever? I always get it off the back of a mad one. See if I go on a mad one, then I'm like sleeping for a few days after that. No recently, because I've not really went in a mad bender in a few years, but the last time I
come up to Wall Street after this.
Don't tell the cameras that. But mate, it's fucking... It's let's see where... It was last time that happened to me. It was a Mandy bender. So MDMA, the serotonin's depleted out your brain. So it was like, I was para to go to sleep. I didn't want to go to, like, I had to sleep, but I didn't want to shut my eyes. I knew like I was going to fucking. But that's just me. Like, if I started seeing shit, like, I'd fucking freak out. Know what I mean? I've been lucky enough. It's been a physical thing.
No, it's just the same thing for me. And the only thing that I can relate it to is when I was wee, there was a daft thing on YouTube. They were called creepypastas. It was just creepy stories, and it was this thing called The Rake, and that's what it looks like. That's what the thing looks like. It's like creeps about on all fours. Like I've seen it up in the ceiling and stuff, and fucking like I always need a light on or I need the telly on at night. It's fucking mad, man. 24-year-old and I need to sleep at night like that way.
See some things like that, because when you're away that shit traumatises you and it fucking sticks with you. And especially, and see, you might forget where it comes from, but your brain doesn't. Your brain's a mad thing. Like you consciously know, like remember like the root cause or something, but your brain will still like kind of come back on you in your later life. It's just mad. It's a fucking mad thing. You can't really ever understand it.
I know. But it's just big, long fucking fingers, and it's just pointy at the end, and it's a horrible thing, man. Creeps me. I don't like getting big and gangly. I fucking hate them.
It's a horrifying sight, because it's like, as far as you're concerned, it's real what you're seeing. So you still get sleep paralysis.
And the points, it's fucking 100% real. It's there. It's fucking nuts, man.
See, we talk about obviously, see your psychosis and that. Did you ever get medication that for it?
No, because I'm not psychotic. I'm just going to reiterate it so I don't lose my license off the board. But no, because I'm not, they didn't medicate me for it, because I just need to do things that calm down my PTSD. Don't put myself in positions to get triggered or something. But the bizarre thing is, it's not really anything triggers it, which was, no, I mean, that was the kind of, the route we were looking for wasn't really there. It's just it comes on it sometimes. It's weird.
You can't put your finger on it, because it's, I thought when you're saying it first, I've had a few similar times seeing I've been out like a fucking for a day or two. I've been sitting with one cunt and I've been like that for like a few days, and then after a few days I'm like, who is that? And I'm looking at his face, I can't make his face out, and then I'm thinking there's more people in the house, so there's a whole party going on, but it's only me and him. And it's weird. Then it's a few times after that I've been like, wow, but I'm like, I've been up for a few days fucking for all sorts, so I can kind of equate it to that. No, I mean, I've never suffered anything sober, fucking thank fuck, know what I mean? But obviously, if it happens sober and you're like, alright, wait a minute here, there's something else going on, kind of thing.
No, I know. But it's just to not put myself in positions. That's so I don't wear I can't wear, see when the mask and all that came about, I just couldn't wear one. I can't put it in my face, so I struggle putting a hood up.
Oh really? Aye? Was it claustrophobic or something?
No, that's a thing for when I was in that orphanage. There was one time they fucking was I don't know if it was like a blanket or something. There was something that wrapped around my face, and they were all, because I jumped there trying to protect my wee brother because it was at night time. They were all trying to fucking batter us, and I've jumped out to protect him. And fucking we can't snoozing, man. They're all fucking battering into me, but it was something was put on my face, and I was like stuck back, and it was just that I don't know, mate. Something just like my heart just starts going boom, boom, boom. It's the same as when I get stabbed and all that. Anytime I've got a seatbelt on, I can't talk to anybody, and it's something there like that. I can't drive it. Okay, it's safer for me to drive without a seatbelt than it is with one, because I'm sitting dead tense. My heart starts going on that when I've got that on me. I don't like it at all, man. I don't like it at all. I clap it in behind me.
Do you ever get pulled or anything for it? Or do you get an exemption for that? Can you get an exemption for that?
No, you can't. It's just
can
against
they'll just say, if you can't wear a seatbelt, you can't drive in, basically. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Aye.
Just take the fucking points or whatever it is.
No. But the only thing I can do is fucking... I've got good at, if I have been pulled out of it, and just flapping it out. So if I can have that on me, I still get tense when the boss is talking to me that, but... Because of my big cut, mate, I hang out, so it looks like the belt's under here. You don't notice, but I just pull that bit out the back of me. Aye. So just that sits across then, it looks like I've got a belt on. Either that, or I just kid on, I'm unclipping it, so they hear then I stand up and get out.
Aye.
No, we don't need you to get out. I'm like, oh, sorry, mate. I got away with it that way.
Aye, be clever about it. I'll muffle that out just in case there's any post watching this.
Oh, fuck.
Find out your tricks.
But no, it's... Aye, but... I mean, I'm just good at... I've got a silver tongue, man. I'm just good at getting my way out of situations like the other day, man. I was in it, show the hydro and fucking... Probably should have seriously... But I had picked up a couple of bits of stuff, right? And I've went in the wee sniffer dogs a bit. I didn't know I had sniffer dogs in the hydro, but as soon as it walked, I was like, oh, give me a yeah. The wee hands came out to me straight away, wagging the tail. And he's like, right, come on, we need to go somewhere else. I'm like, well, got away with that, man. I know.
Keep that one, man. Try that one
out. Yeah. Well worth it, man.
Aye, definitely, man. Saves you getting caught with your stash, doesn't it?
I know. But I ended up fucking steaming, man.
When was that? Was that the RV? Friday there. I seen that, in fact. Fucking, I think it was a Kinnock. A lot of boys for Kinnock was in there.
Aye. Sam was running the show with Fivo.
Was it? Aye. So what was he? Does he do hydro shows then? Is that the kind of scale?
That was his first one, aye.
How did it turn out?
Good, mate. It was a good show. Really good show. It's not full capacity, but it was... But it was a good turn. It was good show.
Good stuff.
I hope he starts having more shows in the hydro, because that's the ones I'll sell tickets to.
Aye.
You can buy fucking 50 quid tickets, know what I mean?
Aye, you'll probably get a bigger allocation as well.
Bring a scheme, know what I mean? They'll be fucking...
That's it, go about fucking just...
More empty bags and teeth, know what I mean? Fucking, I'll just bring every cunt. But, it was a good show, man. Really good show. But I've just got a knack of getting out of things.
Aye, it served you well in it, man.
Aye, I know. There's so many times I actually got into trouble and I just haven't.
Like with the police?
Just with everything, mate. Aye.
Just in general.
I mean, there was one time I was out in the street. And I was taking a key and paused across the road, and they walked there. And I just straight away I was like making them laugh straight away. You know, what were you doing? I was like, take a patsy, you want one? And he just started laughing. Oh, big man, you can't do that in the street. Put it away and fuck off.
Oh, right, aye.
And he just started laughing. I'm like, oh,
fuck's sake.
The boys I was way about that. How the fuck did we not get lifted?
Need to try that one next time.
But just be daft things like that. You can see how often if you can make people laugh, their humanity comes back, because a lot of them are just robots.
Aye.
Know what I mean? Ex-bully victims and fucking forget who they are. They just become a pure jobs worth, you know what I mean? But if you can make them laugh, it kind of humanises people.
Aye.
And then they kind of start laughing with you. No, like, you can't do that. Let's say things. Aye.
Gives you a connection.
Aye.
It connects you, you know what I mean, in some way, and you're kind of like, once that's kind of been established and it's right, the seriousness gets taken to it.
Was it after one of my fights, I'd fucking my swole up and stuff and scuffs on my face. What happened to you? And I was like, oh, fucking fighting with the missus, I sparked her butt. And they were like, what? And I was like, no, I'm kidding on, mate. I was fighting. They just started. I was boxing the night. And I'm like, oh, right, no worries. Where were you boxing? But they were ready to fucking cuff us just because of the way I looked.
Oh, right.
And obviously my big boy,
but
the Hank had been out scrapping with people.
Right.
And they were like, oh, they always get that. We just did your description. You had my description. If it was my description, I done it. Do you know what I mean? Fucking 6'4", 20 stone cunt with tattoos out of his face. It was my description, I done it. I was getting your description. He said, no, we had a thing with your description with fighting. I went, what gave it away? You know what I mean? I was like, no, I wasn't fighting with anybody. I was just fighting with the missus, but I sparked her and left her down that lane. And I was like, I'm palming you up. I was boxing tonight and they started laughing and that was it. They left me alone. But it's often the more ridiculous the thing you say, the more you can make somebody laugh on it.
So I'm the kind of cunt that would date and end up getting the jail and done for the thing I made up. End up doing a heavy stretch.
I think it's because I look so intimidating as well, and then I talk and people realise I'm just a big Wayne.
I think it's like
as soon as I smile or laugh, I just fucking I look young as well, so they go, I look innocent.
Exactly.
Even though if I do that, I look like a fucking crackpot, not making a murderer when I stand with a straight face.
I see, because somebody approaching you would probably think at first, right, you look like probably quite a serious guy. So you obviously just start look, but obviously once you start talking, that it pure shatters like what the preconception they've already got. So maybe that's how they want you quite quicker.
Probably.
Then, like, oh wait a minute,
because they don't know what to think, and then I make them think. I think that's maybe what it is. But it's funny, man. There's a load of clubs now that I don't get into because the bouncers go that for kicks off and they deal with them.
Because they know you're just the tattoos.
No, just would they look at me?
Most places you get tattoos in your face, you're not even getting
my missus, her friends are all gay, and polo don't let me in. Guys in polo just don't let me in.
Really, but just in case if it kicks off or no, I have to try and restrain
this
guy.
Where have you been the night? Well, no, that's just us out. We're full capacity, and then 4 people going. What the fuck, man? I should just go, hiya! I should just walk up, hi daddy! Let us in, you know what I mean?
Should try it?
I should. Let's see my grinder.
But see, obviously most people probably don't know you're a barber as well.
But I
only been a barber for?
Cut a year I've been barbering. 2020 I started.
Was it, was that just off the back of the lockdown?
It was so I started off because I've always wanted to do, so I always like doing things creative, do you know what I mean? So if you look at some of my cuts, they're all a bit mad, like some of them. Obviously every cunt's basic skin fade, that's what you get, you know what I mean? That's what everybody wants, but there's a few of the cuts I've done like mullets and stuff, and it's all dead out there before everybody was getting a mullet, do you know what I mean? But it's just things I like doing creative things, do you know what I mean? So always watched barbering videos. It's quite satisfying to watch. See, when you watch fucking like a scruffy haircut, it goes to nice and smooth and everything's blended. It's like a therapy thing for me when I'm doing it. It just relaxes me. So I end up with cunts sitting in the chair for like an hour and that, and I'm still going just to make sure everything's perfect. And they're like, mate, this is probably the best haircut I've had. Going to stop. You know what I mean? I'm used to going to the Turkish and they just shave my crown. I just need to see it. I need to see it all go perfect, and then I'm happy.
Some sense of achievement. I used to do it in the jail. Obviously, not. I just used to, it was all the army cuts all around. But I was like buzzing, so I was shite at it at first. And I was like, nah, I'm going to be the cunt every cunt waits on. Obviously, it's in the jail, so there's no as if like fucking the quality's the greatest, but I was the best of a bad bunch. So I had cunts waiting on us, but then it got to a point I was like, this is a fucking pain in the arse, because you're not getting paid. Different if I was getting paid and I was getting tips. So the more cunts you get, the better, but I'm not getting paid for any of them, so I'm just sitting cutting hair on my back, pure bustiness. I was like, so it put me off it, but...
So I've got gout in my spine, so it fucks me.
Oh really? But is this before barbering?
No, aye. It's bizarre, mate. It's my mad rare case. But I've got gout in the top, so for the top of my neck to like the middle of my spine, top half of my spine, I've got gout. So that see what you get in your hands, the uric acid gets between your joints and crystallises, so you can't move it and all that. I've got that, so I need to like.
I've noticed you've been doing that quite a lot. I just thought it was just maybe just been a bit fidgety.
I need to crack my back all the time.
I do, aye. So will that affect you later in life?
Aye. So like the hair that was fucking good, you know.
I wasn't sure. I thought that was the couch.
No, that was my back. But I need to crack all the time, man. But see, if I'm barbering, They've got higher chairs now, so it's alright. But see that leaning there like this?
Aye.
Fucks me,
Aye,
man.
kill you.
Can't move. Aye, it's fucking brutal. But aye, fucking nuts. It does bust your back, just when you were saying there about doing it in the jail. Bust your back to fuck.
Aye,
horrible.
big time. You're constantly stalling, especially seeing a busy day, man. You're never off your feet. And with barber, like jobs like that, it's not as if like you're on a building site, you get an hour's break and shit like that. You get a break if it goes quiet. If it doesn't go quiet, you don't often get a break, don't you know?
No, I know.
Where's it you work?
Legacy on Duke Street.
Duke Street, aye,
my,
nice
my,
one.
my pal Lisa, it's her shop. They won Barber of the Year a good few times, both of them. So she trained Kerry, she went to college as well, but she trained the lass of Kerry, so it's Kerry and Alicia, two good mates of mine. And she was Barber of the Year and stuff, and then trained Kerry, and Kerry ended up Barber of the Year at one point. So
oh, right,
I'm in with a good crowd, you know what I mean? Like, they
definitely.
proper know what they're doing. It was good to learn off them, but I literally started just fucking bought clippers and started cutting cunts' hair through the lockdown. I started off cutting mine, and that was how I was cutting mine with like the wee fucking face shavers, and I was cutting mine here, and then it was that way like, how the fuck did you do that with them? And then I bought a pair of clippers and started cutting cunts' hair, like my cousin, my uncle, and my wee brother and that. I was doing well, and then pals started asking me to cut them because they're going to get a haircut through the lockdown. I just started cutting cunts' hair. Just fucking, I wasn't even taking dough for it.
Oh, what do you know?
No, because I was just learning.
I just sharpening your tools.
I was just like, I enjoy this, you know what I mean? I just liked that. I never had my motor because it was fucking still down in Doncaster. I couldn't drive obviously after I got stabbed, so I never had my motor. I was literally paying to get a bus or a taxi or whatever to somebody's house to go and cut their hair.
Oh, really? I still not taking anything for it.
I was just enjoying it, mate. And then when everything started opening up, I met Alicia through my best mate Oscar, the tattoo artist. Fucking tell my best mate's a tattoo artist.
Is that how it's done all your tattoos?
Well, I've done most of them.
Is it?
I've done most of them.
Amazing, man.
Or the good ones. But I met her through him. She was like, look, he's been cutting people's hair. Just like, we need a chance to get on the show. And I met Alicia and fucking ended up really good mates. But aye, it's fucking. But aye, I love barbering. I'll obviously keep doing. I'll still do that. I do that every weekend. I just barber on the weekends. I PT through the week. I need to be spinning plates constantly.
Nah, you can't do the one thing, you'd end up fed up it.
Aye.
Nah, I'm exactly the same.
Because you obviously you do the music and you do the obviously your videos all day, or what I mean.
Aye, there's
your
always
podcast, you
something.
always need to be spinning plates.
Aye. I couldn't do the one thing like yourselves.
Aye.
If I done one thing, I'd patch it after a while because I'd get too much into it, and then I've done it in the past. I even done boxing at one point as well, and I just get obsessed with it. Then it just got to a point of sicking myself with it. Then it became like a chore. So so I'm like, I always need to, because then if I get sick of something, I can just go into something else. Then by the time I'm sick of that, I've got that to go back.
You focus on that, but you can't always keep it on one thing. That's what I need to do. Spinning plates. That's the way I describe it.
Yeah, it's a good
The only problem is when fucking. So I count sobriety as spinning one of the plates, so I keep myself sober and then I can spin the rest of the plates. Well, I'm spinning this one, my barbering there, my PT there, I've got my training there, I've got this there, I've got this there, I've got this there. Like fucking keeping the house clean, do you know what I mean? Like do my washings, I've got all these plates spinning, so alright, everything's going well here. But then I drop one and I try and catch it and pick up, and I drop the rest of them because I'm doing that, and everything shatters. So I need to get myself a balance again, mate. Get myself a balance. I've been able to spin plates and stick them on a stick and just let them spin. But it's as soon as I drop one thing. So if I stop training one day, I'll not turn up for my PTs. I'll fucking get mad with it and take the weekend off, and then that's my sobriety plate gone, my fucking cleaning plate gone because I'm not in the house. It's my fucking boxing, my training, my PT and my barbering. It's all smashing at the one time. But I need to start spinning one plate at a time, man. It's hard, but
nah, definitely. It's you feel as if
because you can never be arsed doing it.
Aye, and it's you just try to do the one. It sounds you'd think it'd be easier than it is, but it's no, because it's like I feel that it's like you feel as if no, I need to be doing this all. I need to be doing all it. And some things you set up to a point where, like if I'm doing like the podcast and now, if I just focused on that, then I need to keep building my platform on social media so people can watch the podcast and listen to my music. I feel it's all connected. So that's how, but you end up, you do that to yourself. You put yourself in a position where, I need to be doing all this at the same time. I think it's just the way it is, isn't it, man?
If I can't do that, I can't do that. If I can't do that, then not avoiding or can't do that, and then it's like that, nah, and fucking like that, nah, no. But it's what I sounded like when I was saying that, you know what I mean?
That's what it's like in your head, man, when you're fucking arguing with yourself.
But it's fucking, it's hard, mate, it's hard trying to get a balance. You look as if you do it very well. What you do, you look as if you do.
I don't believe what you see on social media, mate.
That's exactly what I was going to say there, but then I look as if I'm fucking doing it very well. Or I'm definitely no.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Date well, about. If you date well more than 50% of the time, you're doing alright, I'd say.
Aye.
If you can keep it to a degree, obviously you fucking fall off the wagon. And like, if I end up on it, I don't even need to be on it for a couple of days, 1 or 2 days, and then I'm like, fuck, I'm not fucking doing any podcasts, I'm not putting any, I fucking lock myself in this house and fucking shut the curtains and all that shit.
Aye,
we all do it, know what I mean?
They're coming from, don't know who they are, but they're coming.
At the fucking window with a sword and all that, man. Postman's
I saw
looking
behind you.
Aye, that fucking tinfoil tenor shot.
Aye, man.
How do you get on with the PT? Are you busy with that?
I'm hit or miss, mate. See, like the day I was meant to fucking 4 in the day, and Freedom pulled it. Gave me excuses, but I know they're rough. Know what I mean? They're defo rough. Know what I mean? Title party yesterday, they're defo rough.
Granny and Grandad's fucking goldfish died last night.
Aye.
Fucking sitting right rough and
I just feel I've just had a really hard week. Alright, okay. I've had a really hard week. That's what I'm saying now. I've had a really hard week.
That's exactly what I mean.
I don't think I can make the day.
No, and the cunt will drop off a gram till next week.
I know. I need a wee stress release.
But at least they message you. At least because it could be worse if you ever get cunts and just patch you and just don't turn up. That'd be a pain in the arse.
Aye, I've had loads of them, man. I've had loads of them. But a lot of people just say they want to come in and train me and end up just talking to me.
Oh, did they?
They just want to talk shit with me, aye.
Just fans and that, aye?
No, I wouldn't say fans, mate. But just people want to come in and just talk to me.
Aye. But do you...
I've had a few people with that. They're like, it's like, fucking 20 minutes in and you've not even started training or fuck all. You've not done what I've told you today. You've just spoke shite to me. I'm happy. Know what I mean? I don't need to hard pads. I'll just talk shite for fucking 30 quid an hour. I don't care. Know what I mean? But it's a fucking good job, this. But aye, mate. I've had a few people with that. It's just they've come in for a 1.5 session. They've just spoke to me for ages. Done a wee bit of boxing. No learnt fuck all. Know what I mean? They've basically done a warm up and just went, I'm fucked, mate. Well, right, okay. And then just start talking shit again and then never hear from him again. Or the message you got was fucking brilliant. What's that?
Brilliant, probably leaving, let's say.
I know. Fucking nuts, man.
I see, to be honest, see the boxing workouts, see the fucking warm up itself, that is enough to fucking put you to sleep. See, I go and do the circuits in Kinnock, and I done one this day Sunday. Yesterday, I think it was Mo, is the guy's name. Pure ripping, shredded cunt. He done the circuit. He's no as bad. There's one guy there.
Scott.
He's a fucking sadist with blonde hair.
He's
a sadist, that cunt.
Oh, mate, fucking, he does it with you know.
He
just
does it.
He's morning to night. PT's fucking morning to night, man. He's fucking nuts, Scotty.
It's fucking the cunt's insane level of fitness. Can't remember doing one. It was the first time I'd ever done it because it's usually more there's another kind of Asian guy.
Zidane.
Sorry?
Zidane,
is that his name? He always wears like a beard gauze kind of thing.
I think so.
That's the only two I've usually had. Then I had Tim once and I was like, fuck getting him again, man. It was good when you finished. But then it was fucking, mate. It was like, I knew I felt like about 2 hours. It's grueling as fuck, but it's dynamite, man, because you leave it, you feel like a fucking, feeling top of the world after it, know what I mean? You're fucked, man. But I tried to do it. That was the first one I done yesterday. The first one I was back after a month. And that Mo, I'd say he's the in between. They're all still solid, but I'd say that's Zidane. He's probably the easiest one. Then I'd say Mo's in between. Then that Scott is like the pure extreme level, man.
He's mega extreme, man. He's there every day, all day. I've known him for fucking 8 years.
Have you?
That's just what he's like. Because I've been in that gym for 8 years.
So is that long you've been got a character?
I've been in that gym basically since it opened.
I haven't, because I only started going. The only past couple of years I heard about it. Because there's another one up the top of Govan Road, isn't there? I don't know if it's Kinnock, but it was some kind that worked.
They left, they all fell out. When they left, they were going to get their own gym anyway, didn't they? Different story.
Right.
But they all fell out and fucking they opened up their own gym. They're doing well. I got on fucking, obviously with Sam, working the gym, managed me. He's like a big brother, me and it, and do you know what I mean? I take a cunt out of him constantly, he takes a cunt out of me. But but I've known the guys for years as well. I'm in the middle of it all.
Aye.
Because I'm just pals with everybody. And I hate being that way, because I always say that the person that's pals with your enemy is fucking not to be trusted, but I don't think they should be enemies. They all fell out of a fucking misunderstanding.
It's not
It's fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Grow up.
It's just
We're all
one of the
fucking
things-
best of pals. Now you hate each other.
Aye.
Hate each other. You know what I mean?
Aye. It's that ego in it, and you can't want to
Aye.
admit they're wrong or
Look up-
admit something or one's
aye.
right or whatever.
But I just do mine hang and don't take today with any shit. But I know that's a good job up there, GBA as well. But it's more they're more focused on fighting and that, whereas Kynock's more kind of commercial for like yourself doing circuit classes and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I heard that one up there was just like a circuit one as well. But
I don't know. I've never
been, so I keep it wrong. But
they might have circuit classes. Don't know.
aye,
I'm probably talking shit.
Kinnock is a good one, but I'm
Don't even like boxing, mate.
just go there to talk to cunts.
Go there so I'm not talking to myself.
So what's the plans for the future? You got any fights lined up or anything like that?
I need to fucking. Like I've said before, mate, I need to fight obesity first.
Aye, because he says, Sam, he says you need to get down. What's it, the weight you need to get down to?
Said 17, I'll not get down to 17 stone. Fuck, when I was at 17 stone, I could have made cruiser, do you know what I mean, for that way, but I reckon I'll go down to about a good 17 and a half, 18, get myself in better nick, because I'm in better nick than I was in the fight, which, seeing as I've only done fucking 6 boxing sessions after, shouldn't be the case, but I'm in better shape now than when I was when I just fought there, so I'm getting there. I've just been doing more kind of weight training and stuff, something I've never really done as a weight, so but I'll get myself down to about 17 and a half stone. I'll break 18 stone, get under that, and then I can look at getting a fight arranged and get myself fighting maybe after summer, closer to Christmas, somewhere around about.
Decent. Do you feel like you're starting to get the fire back in your belly a bit? Are you still at that point in you you're still kind of asking questions?
Some days I'm fucking, I'll train 3 times, you know what I mean? And then I'll go for 3 days and be like, fuck this market, but what the fuck am I training for? I don't give a fuck about it. And then it's just that constant conflict in the mind. You know what I mean? But aye, it will depend, mate. It will depend what happens. We're getting the weight off and that, do you know what I mean? But I'll do it. I'll definitely fight again, 100%. But just how long it will take me, I don't know.
Aye, when and where, that's undecided.
Undecided, I know.
Are you looking at anything else? Obviously, 'cause you're talking about maybe retiring at some point, but are you looking at anything else to? Because if you retired for boxing, know what I mean, that's what a good fucking period of your life that you dedicated to it. Is there anything else?
Get back to punting tickets for 40 quid. No,
Just be a ticket. Don't make a good fucking bit of money off it, I'm honest, man. The price of tickets gone a bit.
No, I was talking about gear.
I feel you're talking about selling tickets.
No, it was a fucking. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Fuck. I'll always do something. I'll not do a proper job. I've tried to do proper jobs and can't do them.
Aye, but it's a proper job, fuck's sake, know what I mean?
know. I sat fucking. Remember extras? Remember extras? See at the end of it when he's going like that. Oh, I say I'm an entertainer. I'd love to be a doctor, but I can't put in the work. I'd love to be a war veteran, but I'm not brave enough. I'd love to do this, but I'm not that. It's genuinely the case, mate. I'm just fucking. I've no motivation to do anything else apart of entertain people because it's easy to do.
That's it.
But I need to stop using my face to entertain people.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's finding something that suits you, man. I remember obviously we were talking, man. You were talking about maybe getting into the podcast game.
Well, I've always said I was going to do it. I've said I was going to do it for fucking the past couple of years. And then I was bored one morning and just went, I'm going to make a graphic up and just say I'm doing a podcast. You know what I mean? I've got an idea for it. I know what I want to do. I want to do a podcast on real people. See fucking, instead of, and this isn't me saying anything against anybody that does this, just because they're all doing a similar thing, well, they'll get on kind of fucking
the most famous person they know.
The most famous people that can get on, do you know what I mean? Your Z-list celebrities and all that, do you know what I mean? But that's I don't want to do that. I want to do real people and people that folk can actually relate to.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Just cunts like me.
It's good doing that way. That's what I kind of try and do. I kind of do a bit of both, obviously. For some people who've got a bit of a following like yourself and that, then there's people nobody's probably heard, you know what I mean? It's that I just try and get people that's got good stories and that, and as you say, people can relate to, because you find, see if you look at James English, look at the Darren G podcast, obviously the way that's turned out for the two of them, totally different. But when we first got him on, nobody really knew who Darren G was. He wasn't really fucking a well-known person. Then after that podcast, it was like, it was intense. You were watching it. It was fucking, it was in depth as fuck.
Yeah.
And so that just shows you, man. Know what I mean? You can find, maybe know the next Darren G, but find somebody like that. Know what I mean? That's got a story and that kind of stuff. And plus, as well, there's fair play to people. Every cunt and their granny's doing a podcast, and every cunt and their granny's trying to get the most famous cunt in this, because it does well for their numbers as well. And but after a while, you've heard all these stories.
No, I know, that's the thing. That's how I get surprised when people still ask me to come on and talk. You didn't even know anything. That's why I was quite excited about that you didn't know anything about me. I was like, fuck yeah, I still just wanted to talk to me. He doesn't want to hear about all the shit when I was younger. He doesn't want to hear about me getting fucking plugged. No, I mean, he doesn't want to hear about all that. But I was like, why would you want me to go and talk that shit on your podcast when you can just listen to fucking somebody else's where I've done it?
Aye.
I've spoke all that shit, do you know what I mean?
Aye, of course. I didn't know you'd done podcasts, but I just seen, because I remember it was weird. So we were in there when it was obviously the Taylor fight was on. I remember watching you in that fight, and then my pal Matt, he says he trains at Kinnock. And I just seen you'd like comment one of my videos. I was like, what's the chances? I was like, I then obviously spoke to you, and I was like, fuck, I'll just get him. Because as I say, I'll just get somebody when I think I can get along with and just get a chat. I have a couple of questions, but I don't relegate myself to a question and answer. I just fucking sit and talk shit.
Just that's it, mate. You talk shit, I talk shit, and that's the way it should be. Because it's what people can actually relate to. Because everybody just talks shit, do you know what I mean? That's what conversation is.
That's exactly it, mate.
It's just, but I don't like that question answer thing either. But it's what do you think? I know exactly what you're talking about, mate. I'm mixing up the words, trying to say exactly what you just said there differently.
I just try to help.
Try to talk shit about talking shit.
Just talking shit. But that's the way I just try and make it as if there's two cunts sitting in a room. There just so happens to be a camera there, rather than there's a camera set up there so two cunts can talk in front of it. Know what I'm talking about? Aye. That makes it. I just made that up better. I think it sounded philosophical as fuck, man. So
I'm going for that quote marks, innit?
I need to get up in the wall.
So I Tom Hardy smoking a fag behind it or something.
It's blunt.
I fucking hate them, innit? It's just like, you always get that fucking old guys on Facebook posting a picture of Thomas Shelby, and it's like, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. You know what I'm talking about?
The guys that feel dick, man. Wayne's don't even like him.
Fucking hate things like that.
Wayne's probably fucking tapped him a score or something in Paxton, man. He's putting up quote pictures. Don't get your dad, man. He's putting up fucking Peaky Blinders quote pictures again.
I know. It's leaving it that Thomas Shelby said, though.
But that gets me. Fair dues if they said it. Like Will Smith and all that, like Denzel Washington, fucking snakes don't hiss anymore, they call you bro and all that. He never said that.
I know.
It's cunts.
Picture of Tom Hardy with fucking explosion going on behind him, and it's like Oscar Wilde quote. So we're all in the gutter, but someone's looking at the stars.
This macho man fucking telling a quote for a fucking gay fucking scholar, know what I mean? It's like, mate, where does it makes you question, right? Who are the cunts that are making these, man? This is some mad dweeb that's been fucking his birds pumped a fucking pal or something, man, and chucked him, and then he's went onto the computer and tried to vent. But so what's the plans for the future then? Just take it as it comes in. Fucking try and lose the weight then just see. You definitely look into the podcast game, because you're a natural. You're easy to talk to. It's like when I see some people, it's kind of get a guard up and you talk to them and that. But like,
see, we've just spoke shite for ages. I don't even know fucking how long. But I've just met you today.
2 hours we've done.
2 hours?
Yeah, that says it there. See the camera.
Can't see, man.
Oh, can you know that? Oh, you get your glasses off. Oh, was it the fucking... There you go.
my fucking eyesight's not... I had laser treatment before I turned pro.
Did you? I was going to get that. Is it no worth a fuck?
Is it fuck, mate?
Where did you get it? Optical Express?
Aye.
That's when I... Like,
$4,500, mate.
You just pay up a £500 deposit, and then you can pay it up for fucking month after month.
A sponsor paid for it for me, which was alright. But
did they?
But a sponsor, I could have took a $4,500. Do you know what I mean?
Oh right.
I would have been half a rails with it, probably.
It's probably best you get your eyes in.
But I had to get it. I wouldn't have passed the medical. But I've had it in fucking 6 years later in the glasses again.
Fucking hell, man.
I barely passed the last assessment. I'll pass it this year. I'll pass it next year, probably scrape it. And then I fucking know what the box cause my eyes anyway.
But so can you no box if you're short sighted? To a degree?
No, aye.
How bad is your eyesight?
Well, no, it's not really that bad now. Like, if I shut my right eye, I can still go reading the big letters.
Aye.
There, do you know what I mean?
Right, so it is, it's quite, because mine isn't that bad, I can read that.
Aye, but it's only with my right eye. I can read it with my left, it's fine, but see before I go to laser treatment, see, I couldn't see it with my right eye till it was there. Everything was just like a blur. Just a blur, until it was a bit here, and then I could see it. I mind one of the fights I had a head clash, my left eye swole up and I couldn't see fucking anything, and I just went, oh fuck this, man, I swung down, bang, I've hit the cunt. I just must have connected sweetly. I've never even seen the video on nothing. It was just like boom, boom, and then everybody just went ooh, and I didn't even know whether to put my hands up or fuck on.
Did you not see the cunt get in, no?
I knew I hit something, but I didn't know if I hit him. I didn't know if I hit the ref. I didn't know if I hit my fucking cornerman. I was like, I hit some cunt and they went down, you know what I mean? But I'm not getting punched anymore, so it must be alright. But it turns out I fucking sparked them, so I was lucky.
Just as well, man. But it's fucking mad. Obviously, it makes sense. And it'll obviously see if your eyesight's that bad, but I didn't realise it was such a big king. I just thought, right, if you're no blind, you're alright.
I think you can have wear and tear in your eyes, but that's probably how mine's of the such a decretion on my decretion. Is that a word? Don't know.
Recession, is it?
Recession.
You're probably right. I don't know.
On mine is because they get hit all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's got you made that. I mean, man, that.
Plus as well, because you're sparring as well, so it's not even just in the fight. Because obviously you don't wear a head guard, so you're going to be taking hits in training.
So I think that's probably something to do with it, is that I've lost my sight through that. But I am just destined to be a fat specky bastard like everyone else in my family. You know what I mean?
Mate, you wear it with style, mate. I feel I'd wear these ones alright, because
mate, the clear frames are class, aren't they?
So this is, I hated this. I just thought I looked like a specky dick, but I looked like a native specky dick.
Look like you should be in Starbucks writing lyrics or something. Do you know what I mean?
Lyrics on the coffee.
But man, it's fucking. No, the clear frames are. I like them.
The way forward, the step in the future. I realised the first day I got these, man, I fucking met like 3 cunts at the same pair. I was pure buzzing and all, and I was like, I've got these pair, these wearing these. I went to Greg's to get a coffee, and the woman that was serving me was the first cunt I seen. She had them on. I was like, you get the same glasses, man. Even they all just started laughing. So they're quite a popular set, which means they must be. You must look good.
They look good, I know. You sit them, mate. Sit glasses.
Cheers, my man. Cheers, mate. But if you get any want to promote that, I'm just going to wind it down, man. Coming up, any of your barbering business, go and get a haircut off you. Where do you say it is?
Legacy, Duke Street. Come get a haircut off me, man. I'm not even in this. There's no point, mate. I'm not even in this week. I'm at a fucking wedding.
Oh, fuck, are you? When you at the wedding?
We're at a wedding Friday, but it's she stays in Musselburgh and that.
Oh,
she's from Iceland originally, but she lives in Musselburgh.
Oh, really?
Or her mum that live in Musselburgh, so that way. So I'm leaving work this weekend. Fuck it, mate. If you got a haircut, come get a haircut. If you don't. You want, mate, PT, I'll do that. I'm not really asked, mate. I'm just fucking happy as it's going. Say hi to me in the street.
That's it. Say alright. If you don't want to work out or a haircut, at least say alright, innit, man?
Well, I was hard, big man. I'm not very inconspicuous, know what I mean? It's fucking, you see me, you know it's me. But I don't want to promote it. Follow me on Instagram.
Promote all the prostitutes that stay next door to them. Get them a bit of business.
See, I don't know. See if I can get a cut.
Use discount code J10. But cheers for joining.
Saying that as if I know them, I don't know them. You got to reiterate, I don't know them either.
I don't know them either.
I mean, you do know them.
I've met them, but it's just that's a story for another podcast. But anyway, mate, thanks for joining us, man. It was good chatting to you, mate. Fucking
you too.
Jamie Mcfarlane, give him a follow, people. I'll have him on the bio as always. See you later. Like, subscribe, and don't get wide.
Fucking love that. I love that.